Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Terminus Podcast episode 108. This is for the weeks of October 20th, 2018. I almost said August. What month is it? What year is it?
Did anyone
disclaimer for those that are watching this? We're starting filming at 10:15 Eastern.
No, absolutely not. Of course not. We're filming at a reasonable time and on the right day.
It's not really late, and we're not all really tired.
I definitely didn't get back from New York City yesterday, and that's why. Never mind. I'll talk about that later. Anyway, I am your host, Ellis, otherwise known as Train Man. I'm your dispatcher. With me, I have two engineers that are Brett Weibold and Nick Christensen, or Milky as we call him. Or, well, Brett Weibold. I always screw his name up because we call him Weibold, but you guys will figure that out through the course of the show, or you probably figured it out already because we don't get any new viewers. And with us as our fireman is Chris Homan, and our brakeman is Graham. How do you pronounce that? Zielinski?
Zielinski.
Okay.
We had viewers to begin
I'm
with.
here over 2 years. It's taken me to return.
Yeah, well,
Holy
get
crap.
gooder. Anyway, the train will terminate at the station.
Go. Okay, this week we are in the middle of nowhere where there is grass and bison, and that's about it. This is Cheyenne in 1889.
somewhere?
Bison.
Some
A
period.
date.
It's kind of gloomy.
Worked.
It's kind of gloomy, and there isn't much going on here, as you might
Cheyenne,
expect. I
there's
mean,
not
it's
much
really
in
not that
general.
different in real life, today,
Yeah.
modern day. Only the switch
No.
stands are much less shiny. Anyway,
Yeah.
alarming, amazing news for the Class 1 Mantle of Responsibility. That really just makes me think, Chris, you're right. That really just makes me think somebody's been slacking at posting news, but we have no accidents. None. Zero. There is one minor accident, but it wasn't committed by a Class 1 railroad. Well, also there's the murders of a couple of people, but we'll get to them later. None of those by Class 1s. None of them.
Hey, you get 3 guesses as to who killed people, and
Yeah.
the first 2 don't count. Hint, it's Brightline.
Also Amtrak. They did hit somebody.
It's only Brightline.
No.
Only
But nothing.
every Brightline.
Canadian National remains the current holder. I'm still echoing.
Oh shit! I'll be back then.
But anyway, so we talked about the fact that this episode is maybe being recorded a little bit late. And that is because I was on a business trip. I was on a business trip out to New York City. Of course, I took the train, which dropped me off at One Penn Plaza, and I literally just went upstairs to my company's offices. They have offices in the building at One Penn Plaza, which is so cool. But the inside of that building is an absolute maze. It's ridiculous. As normally happens when I go to New York City, I lectured everyone I could about the evils of Madison Square Garden and what Penn Station used to be, and showed pictures and everything like that, and everyone else was sad. So, yeah.
Well, won't be much longer that Madison Square Garden exists, so...
Yeah, I know. I did mention that. They lost their lease. We
Hey.
talked about that in a podcast a while ago. But
Make Penn Central great again. Or not Penn Central, Penn Station.
Penn
Yeah,
Central.
Wait, no.
Penn Central was never great to begin with.
Speaking of making
was
things
Graveco.
great again,
What?
GE is going to try and make a
You're in the
battle
wrong
jet.
section. We're talking
Wrong
about our.
section.
We're talking about
Wrong
our.
Boy,
God,
piss test!
I
Piss
did not-
test!
I do not know how this works.
Piss
Sorry,
test!
this is Trackside Tales, where
fairly
we talk
easy.
about stuff that we have done in the past couple of weeks that is railroad related. I on the way there, I got enamored with some new videos, learned about 3-act story structure, and wrote an outline for the whole of the Housatonic. And then I talked about that during Under Construction, which I just made because I just got back. So, anyway, also as a side note, the Horseman Mobile has come another step because I made a deal with a guy on Craigslist. Another deal with another guy for less money and I might be getting a car like tomorrow.
Wait, you're buying
Did
a
you
Volvo?
cast his feet in cement?
Wagon. I mean, I didn't have to make that kind of deal. The guy's 70. He responds well enough to threats.
Bobbity boopy.
Anyway, yeah.
Pass it over, old man. Okay.
Exactly.
Give me the keys.
But it's, it's any color you want as long as it's black.
Yeah.
And it is in great condition, and I can't wait to get a nice vinyl sticker of the Horseman logo to put on the doors.
Jesus.
I can't wait.
Speaking
Get
of
a Keystone sticker.
No, Keystone goes in the front.
cars and driving adventures, I went to Durango and Silverton. Surprise! But
Surprising
I
nobody.
participated with nobody. I participated in the fall photo trains, and it was overall just very great. Lots of run-bys, megaphone. I don't know. What else?
Oh man, TJ and I are going to
476?
mega foam next weekend.
Good.
I can't
Oh.
wait to talk about it. It's the Mass Bay
WWNF?
Road Enthusiast doubleheader. No, at Essex. 3
Oh,
steam
nice.
engines, 97, 30,
Oh, that's
25,
next
and
weekend.
That's next
Oh, okay.
weekend. Yeah.
I was thinking that was a little bit later this year.
No,
I sent
it's not-
pictures if you want to show them.
I was like, I can't, TJ messaged me, he was like, he goes, that's next weekend, right? And I was like, oh yeah, you're right, it is next weekend. Oh, I can't wait. And, of course, I was like, how was your weekend? Because his girlfriend came in. But,
Yeah.
so far
Family
as I
podcast.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of filming, me and Ellis are all infatuated with private cars. So
Yes.
I saw 5 private cars to one up anything he'll probably ever see.
I did see a private car on a Northeast Regional, though, and that's a little bit unusual. And the private car I saw is the last car painted for the American European Express, or the American Orient Express. And it's the Sleeper Berlin. It's actually a very cool car.
It's actually called Lake Placid, but okay.
Well, it was called
Lake Flaccid.
Lake Placid.
Placid.
Placid. The P.
Like,
That was a Dean moment right there. I apologize, but
Like,
Placid P.
These nuts.
we've got a blue flag for American Orient Express at the museum.
Cool. I want to see that.
That's about it. Other than that, the legacy of the American Orient Express.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It's one of those things you don't hear about all that much.
No, and I
It
didn't
was
even know
so
about
big.
it. I didn't know about it
Really?
until
The only reason
until
why
I saw that coach.
I didn't know about it
I
until I
knew
went
about
to
it
the.
because there was an advertisement for a Weber Welsh set of it.
Really?
I didn't know about it till I went to Grand Canyon Railway, and they have a bunch of their cars there.
It just,
I mean,
it
it's
just
kind of
showed
a
what happened.
strange
Like,
thing
it was
if you
such a
think
flag.
about it.
I didn't realize it ended so soon. Like, it's so weird that it was, it was going strong until 2008, and then the economy crashed, and it was like, oh, goodbye.
Yep. Namas.
Yeah.
That's what happened with a lot of things.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, rail cars especially, you consider it's not really property in equity, but private rail cars for a multi-million-dollar train set is, definitely quite a bit to handle. Not to mention the insurance.
hmm
money,
It is
money.
such a cool thing, though. I feel like they, maybe give it a couple more years. I don't know, but it would be amazing to see them try something like this again.
Oh yeah.
Would be.
Yeah.
I mean, just
they already-
rail cars in general. It'd be nice if they were to not necessarily come back because they were never really big, but to have something like the Canadians have.
Mhm.
Yes.
You hear about Rocky Mountaineer and it's world renowned and stuff like that. Whereas it's still an actual train that will get you place to place. It's not just a tourist line.
Given time.
Given time.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me check on this right now. This is
Go.
for the future segment of, for the last segment of the podcast.
Yeah.
I'll pull up the map, but I'll just
Speaking-
say where we are right now. 7 hours 21 minutes late on the Canadian. The other one is on time though.
Ouch.
Speaking of trains that get you from place to place that are old, I went out and did something that I haven't done in a long time. I went out rail fanning. I grabbed the new Young Buck Brock of the 113.
Young
He is
Bud.
using And said, guess what? You're coming with me on Sunday. We're going chasing the 425, and that's that. And we did. They ran their last fall forward for the season with the locomotive and the diesel and all the cars and the private car and all that stuff. Completely sold out 100% from Reading to Jim Thorpe today and return. I only chased it up because we had to go to Kutztown this afternoon.
Well, it's not that far away.
No, it's like 40 minutes. So we chased it up. We didn't get it to that many locations because they highball, and I'm running the speed limit. I'm going a little bit over the speed limit, and I barely make it. I got some really nice pictures. I don't have them with me though because they're on my camera. But I did an Oren Hellbach. For those of you who do not know, which is just about everyone, we have around here the official photographer of the 113 is Oren B. Hellbach. This is a guy who has a little Subaru hatchback and carries.
Uh-oh. Guys.
Photos. Well, and
What was
normal
that?
Well, guess what? I wore my nice fedora today, and I stood on top of my car to take a nice picture. And I was supplement Orange, and actually came out really nice. I wish I could show it to you guys, but I don't really want to go get my camera.
Oh, well, speaking of driving fast, when I went to the Dragon at Silverton photo trains, I got my first speeding ticket, and I wasn't even chasing the trains. So,
Hey,
Well, it's a waste
you
of a
wouldn't
speeding
get a
ticket.
speeding. You would not get a speeding ticket chasing the DNS.
Fair.
well, depending on where you're trying to get to.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're doing a 20. You're doing 20 and a 15. Oh no.
No, it's like 60 out there in the valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And the
DNS
train
isn't going
goes like
60.
20.
Yeah.
A K36 on that track at 60, I think, would go about 5 feet before winding up on its side.
Yeah, lad, kids, don't speed if you're getting your driver's license.
Or if you're driving a train.
Yeah, like,
Which, if
I
we
mean-
were still doing news at this point, it would be a really great segue into something. But
Spoilers.
Ross Rowland news.
yeah, well,
Yes.
related news. I don't even know what it would segue to. I'm sure we've got something to do with speeding in here.
I mean, I could do my 614 story, but speaking of speeding, I guess I can segue this into this in a way because although we're technically going 50 miles an hour on the A&A, we're totally going 50 miles an hour on the A&A. And I had hosted for my first time in a while yesterday, which was really really nice. It was nice, relaxing. Funny story, and this goes to any mothers that happen to be watching this with children. If
Nobody.
If there are, please let us know because I wonder what are you doing with your life. You should be taking care of your kid. I had a rather interesting patron yesterday on the train. So I am in the C&J caboose. It's in the regular northeastern style caboose. You have the bunks in one end, the cupola, and then the stove and the table, and the stop on the other side. Okay, well, I have my car full. There's about 14, 15 people in there. And there's a lady, her maybe 1.5-year-old son, and her husband sitting at the table. Okay, we're bopping along. I get up. I want to go take a look at something at the other end of the car for whatever. I turn around. I walk back, and there she is, standing up, changing the kid's diaper. just going and fucking saying it. Like, lady, I'm not gonna say no to you. If you think I'm gonna say no, no. But let me know that I can, one, not look, and two, keep everyone else away. Like, come on, lady.
People are just inconsiderate.
That was an interesting.
I mean, kid gotta poop.
Yeah.
Thing. What shall we say?
Hey, at least you don't have a PA system that breaks in the goose.
No, we just don't have a PA system at all. We have our
Yeah.
voices.
At least
We're
you
real
have a
people.
goose.
yeah. Real bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard.
Also, the PA system didn't break, Graham. You just whine a lot.
No, you just don't know how to use it.
Ooh.
I was using the microphone,
Ooh.
and you heard it, so therefore it was working.
And then it stopped.
That's.
It
I'm
didn't
not-
stop. You were
It's
just
like-
bitching about the lousy audio quality.
No, I was not. I wasn't even. You were trying to point out a
You
DNS
still
train to me. You were like,
This is why it's been 2 years since Grandma's been on the podcast, for the record.
You're trying to get the mic away from your face, and then you're like, Graham, look, there's me an SF train. I was like,
Ugh.
It's all Weibel's fault.
Yeah, somehow I doubt that. Anyway,
Well, you know what isn't Weibel's fault?
very few things, actually.
The city that I've been working on the trains.
Yeah. I would hope so,
which
because you
has
said
been
you're the
making-
one
That's
working
the
on it.
Illuminati. I didn't do that.
Very odd segue.
I mean, it's
Look,
true.
Speaking of things that don't soup,
Yeah, Milky's the king of odd segues, so.
You know what?
you say odd. There are words other than odd. but
Jedi's
okay.
have Sith orgs, I have bad segues and odd segues. So, well, I've been working on the city of Whiteford on the West Fort and Whiteford Railway, which is the interchange point between the Whiteford Traction Company and the West Fort and Whiteford.
I thought you were going to say between Brightford and the rest of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
then
the
I-
connecting point between this area and everything else.
Between here, it's the connection between right here and everything else.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, I have
If
another.
you want to go somewhere via anywhere, or if you want to go to somewhere via anywhere, you'll just have to go via somewhere else.
Yeah.
I have another foamy thing that I did. Accidental foam. I was in New York on vacation, and I foamed the Long Island Railroad,
Yay.
and it was electric.
The
Electric
wrong
Boogaloo.
island.
The Wrong Island Railroad.
Electric Burger.
And then I have future foam coming up. SP18.
We'll get to that in the news there.
That's not news.
Is it? I mean, we talked about it last
Yes.
time.
This is real life. This is my life. I'm going to foam.
I mean, he's not wrong. It is the real life. He is going to go foam. I'm
It-
certain.
Well,
it's
I
not
hope
just
it's the real life and it's not just
fantasy.
fantasy.
He isn't caught in the wrong side.
Also, check out the new film Bohemian Rhapsody that talks about the rise of Queen.
Yeah.
I saw an ad
Hey,
for that.
I gotta go watch that. When that comes out in November,
Shout
right?
out to
I have
that.
no idea. We aren't being paid by them, so we shouldn't be talking about it.
No.
Oh,
Endorse
advertiser-friendly content.
Hashtag ad.
See, the issue is, in order to have sponsors, people actually have to watch.
Yeah, I know.
This is true.
If you're watching at this point,
Yeah. No. Anyway.
Go see
Anyway.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Tell them Terminus sent you. They'll go, what? This is an AMC. We don't know anything about these people. Sir, will you please leave?
Well, speaking of knowing about more people, the 1067 Parks project is progressing, which because I mentioned it briefly last episode, I'll just go into more detail about it. Basically, a year and a half ago, I asked a question to inform about the Center Urban Car up in Washington, but because it's still around and has similar parks to the 1067. The parks are practically identical from the frame under, except for the air compressor, but that doesn't really matter too much. We got 50 of them. So anyways, I was curious to try and get the interurban car that the parks are coming off of, or just to see in general what the condition was of it. So,
Oh,
so,
I have
so
another.
back and forth for a few months later, we got a call from the museum that now owns that interurban car, and we're making a deal.
Hello?
So,
Hello, I'm back.
if anyone doesn't have anything else, I have,
Skype killed itself.
I have another
out.
thing to talk about. I am going to get a job, and then I'm going to buy a speeder, and then I'm going to buy a trailer and a shack for my speeder.
Where
you should
are
buy
you
the
going to put the
trailer
shack?
and the shack first.
Oh, yeah, at my grandparents' house.
Okay. Is
Just
that near
one of those
anything?
things.
Speaking,
Or
Yeah.
you're going to run the speeder.
I don't know yet.
Train tracks,
Back
probably.
and forth.
I'm
Yeah.
going. I will
well,
build a
speaking of
wall.
speeders, my speeder is out for my sombrero.
Well, I was going to build a railroad at my grandparents' house, so come on
Build
out.
a railroad. All right.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna be building a
You know,
mine.
I used to have dreams like that, Graham, and then I discovered girls, and then college happened, and now I'm just fucked in
Girls
the
are-
wrong way.
Girls are dumb.
Well,
This
there
is
go all the
not me.
female
What are
viewers.
you, gay?
This is
Yeah.
not me.
There
is
go all the
not
female
me.
viewers.
Bye,
Our viewer count
Madison.
changed from 5 to 5.
This is
I mean,
not me
technically,
coming
sometimes
out.
my mom watches the podcast, but you know.
Bye,
And
Ellis's
we went
mom.
Hi,
5 to
Ellis,
4
Mom.
miles,
Let
Mom.
we feel your pain.
I don't
We
know why she does that.
apologize.
I am straight.
She's sick, I guess.
I don't believe you.
Grandma down.
Press
Push,
X to
push
doubt.
X
Anyway.
to doubt.
Yeah, President X. Anyway,
Good.
The XOXOXO.
Advertiser-friendly content.
anyway, what else? Anybody
Come on-
else done other things?
come
I
on,
got some pretty cool pictures. I don't have them on hand. I got some pretty cool pictures of the sunset over Long Island Sound and the Hell's Gate Bridge as we were coming to New York City. It's just
Oh.
of all the bits on the Northeast Corridor, Connecticut might be the most scenic, and it's probably the only thing that Connecticut has going for it, to be honest.
Connecticut was where I
I
was
like
born.
Connecticut.
Waterbury buttons are pretty cool, though.
The problem with Connecticut is you can never be sure whether they're trying to be New Englanders or they're trying to be New Yorkers. You go there and you can't go up to a person and know if they root for the Sox or the Yankees, and that's terrible.
They're neither, which is the best part.
Well, look. As long as they don't root for the Giants, we're okay. Because the Giants are
Like the baseball
Giants.
Giants or the football Giants?
Football Giants.
I mean, I can understand
might
why you'd
be.
root for the Giants. I don't like it.
They're kind of just there.
No, they won a couple of times. They were the things that
Okay, look,
prevented
this
the
isn't
New
a
England
football thing.
Patriots from having a perfect season, which pisses me off. But,
Okay,
Who
look,
wants to come ride my railroad?
that's an
I'm
innuendo.
not- Speaking of building railroads, I actually embarked on a new thing, and this is new to everyone here. I'm going to be building a railroad.
Yeah.
Brock had mentioned to me today that his grandfather, who owns a little bit of land and also helps on the 113,
Oh, God.
has been buying track and buying worn out wheels from the one from Pioneer Tunnel. And Tyler Fenderson, who the CMO of Pioneer Tunnel, has given him plans, and he's going to build his own mock-up breaker railroad. And I said, "Hell yeah, I'll help you."
Nice.
One thing about what you said is alarming to me, and I'll tell you what it is.
The fact that the Pioneer Tunnel has
anything that
described
is-
worn out wheels.
Yeah, anything that is worn out from the Pioneer Tunnel is probably way past,
Yeah.
way past.
Yeah.
The
what
wheels are
normal worn out
concave. There's no rim, they're just spokes. They're like flowers. It's a knob with spokes.
Well, either way, I am going to help grade and build this railroad, because why the hell not?
I mean,
He's even going as far as to actually considering putting it across a road.
oh
And
god.
I'm like, dear God, no.
Come build my hashtag. Come build my railroad.
We're gonna have a breaker that's FRA.
Mhm.
No. It's not going to be breaker. It's just going to be a faux mine shaft. And just some track and some yard and
It's
some
gonna
mine.
be FRA.
Speaking of railroads, speaking of building railroads, so East Rail asked me for the old DOT dock the other day, so he's up to something. I don't know.
He made a modded.
He's
modded
making
server.
a modded server, so
Which mod?
I don't know. You have to ask him.
Rails of War
Plenty of mod.
and IR is not included because we don't want to explode
Ah,
anyone's
damn it.
computers.
Then
I like
can't
how
walk my
Rails
computer.
of War is the
Rails.
go-to when you don't want to break something. Why is that the go-to? That should
I have no idea.
eventually
Say that to
it will
us
get
3
used.
years ago, and we would just laugh at you.
I mean, to be
What-
fair,
What were you going
though,
to tell me?
it was true then. It was true now. Like it was. Rails of War is a great mod, but after it has like an expiration date when you start using it. You put too much stuff on, and it's gonna stop
Yeah.
working.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true
immersive
with all
railroading's the
train
same way. It just happens as soon as you start the game.
Weibold, what were you going to tell me?
So I'm gonna tell you.
You said Graham, and
But because I haven't had that
I
problem.
don't know, probably about girls again.
Yeah,
I don't know. If you need advice on girls, don't even to me. But
Don't turn to any of us in here.
Hey,
I mean, Ellis is probably
Okay, Ellis, and only Ellis.
okay, here's, as a side note, right? My friend Rhea, who is the voice of Veronica in To Rule the World, that'll be on soon, TM. I'm still waiting on 2 lines from Jader. I asked him like a month ago. I keep talking. I keep saying, hey, I need these 2
I
lines.
replied to half a dozen comments about that.
Yeah, and every single time. So if anybody's upset about To Rule the World, like right now, just right now, there's been plenty of things that stand in the way. You can be annoyed at Jader right now. There will be another thing, I'm sure, in a couple of weeks when I finally get those lines, finish this scene, and move on to the next scene. Anyway, I digress. Rhea has a friend who apparently has an alarming... I use alarming a lot now. I don't know why that's suddenly my word. Like, a serious talent. A serious talent, and I don't know how this happens, but I am extremely jealous, of just soliciting platonic nudes. He has thousands of them.
What?
Thousands of nudes from, like, dozens and dozens of girls that he's just friends with that send him nudes. I don't get it. I don't know how that works. I don't know how
This is impressive, but I'm going to ask the question, what does this have to do with the Terminus?
It doesn't, but we were talking about, like, getting girls and stuff like that. I know this is a subject for Sunday driving, so we'll cover it next time that happens. Sorry.
What's the difference?
You're a fucking bastard.
Yeah, exactly. Now you understand. Anyway,
I've gotten news before.
Not only
No,
is
you
that fact, I
haven't.
like how we all have the same reaction.
Do you want to see, Ellis?
no, because it's probably a
Graham will
guy.
tell you when you're older.
Probably a guy.
I am old now. I am a freaking junior. It's been 2 years since
That
I've
is
been.
not
I am
old.
also old and junior.
Yeah. It literally contradicts itself.
Yeah.
Anyway, so anything else that we've done? I finished I finished all the like little fiddly bits. I finished all the grass in my giant.
I did all.
What was the other thing I did?
My mic on.
Yeah,
Yes, your
sorry.
mic's on.
We just keep talking over you. Your mic's working fine.
We're good.
Listen, Senpai, listen! Read! Deviating a little bit from normal porn onto just some CAD porn real quick. I've been working on a 3D model for some 3D printed stuff I'm going to do for HON3.
It's a lot of threes.
Yeah, it's a lot of threes. It's in 3D, too. And there's not 3 pictures in the chat. There's just
I can open it 3 times.
do that, man. So that's that.
Yeah, mind sharing what it is?
Oh, didn't it? Oh, sorry.
It's a
model.
Look at this thing! I don't know
Look
what
at this
the
crap.
Look at this.
Look at this.
Looks like a rotary coal dumper.
Sort of. It's a barrel coal transfer, or barrel limestone transfer. It's like a rotary coal dumper, but rather than doing the equivalent of an aileron roll, it does the equivalent of a barrel roll, because it both rolls and translates.
It's the dumbest comparison, but it's correct.
It is absolutely correct. The car is doing a barrel roll, not an aileron roll.
Anyway, Graham, you're a foamer. Where is this from?
Oof.
Probably Alamosa.
No.
No.
Good try, though.
No.
Anyway, so I think if that's all...
No, there's one other.
No,
Wait,
you get one
we
other
have
thing?
to figure out where this is from.
No, we don't. Anyway,
Bible bears
We
is
don't
from.
know.
You scroll
We're
up.
just going to leave you in the dark. We'll tell you when you're older.
Did I
That's
send
what you
it?
say about everything.
Did I send it? No. Tanner, one of our co-hosts on the A&A, has a 3D printer, and he made himself a really cool.
dildo.
That's where I thought it was going to.
No, he didn't. No, he made himself a custom hat badge. Send. But,
Send nudes.
send. No, I don't need location. Just send. What is it doing? What is it doing?
Skype
don't do that.
is overcomplicated now.
Well, this is mobile Skype too, so it's even more overcomplicated.
I mean, it's all fairly simple, but okay.
He made himself a custom Halloween hat badge. Spooky train man.
Spoopy.
My first reaction is you forgot the other P. So whenever this ends, please show it. It is really cool, and I'm like, I want 5. I don't need.
Wait. Is it time? Is it time for what?
It's in Salida, by the way.
God damn it. Although I guess he is older than he was when
Yeah,
he
he
passed.
was. I mean, it's not inaccurate. I mean, I didn't want to leave the viewers that didn't know what was up hanging. There's no way they're going to find that.
I am older now.
I know,
Time did
we
pass.
established that.
We'll tell you when you're older.
We just told him. Anyway, when your thing stops breaking, I'll show that thing, but I think it's time for...
Oh my god, my ears.
Ow.
Is that broken, Graham? Huh? Can you hear that?
Yes.
Anyway, send
Too
me
well.
pics. Get me pics.
Well, yeah,
That
we-
sounds like
very
you-
interesting.
At least buy me dinner first.
No. It's platonic.
Well, it's by extender.
Jeez. It's platonic. God damn it.
I can actually pull up one of them, because I know what this thing... I don't know what this friggin' thing looks like.
Hey,
Is it
we
my
should just
POS you've got a
Yes.
picture of?
Hey, just
Okay.
Google pile of scrap.
Big oof.
That's what it should be.
This engine's owned by the Strasbourg Railroad.
God damn it.
We were watching Rio Grande Southern Memories yesterday at Foam Fest. Oh, that was the other thing we did, but I
Too
guess
late.
I can't say locomotive versus backwards. But anyway, we were watching it yesterday, and it came up with Rio Grande Southern number 20, now owned by the Colorado Railroad Museum. And I kind of sat back and furrowed my brow and looked at everybody and went, I thought Strasbourg owned that engine.
God damn it.
Some people laughed, some people groaned, and I got smacked, I think, 3 times.
Anyway, in one corner we have Lucy, RGS 20,
Or
now currently owned by the Strasbourg Railroad.
Yeah.
Actually, more like owned by
This
Lynn
episode,
Modinger.
whenever
He'll
20 is coming home.
He'll bring it back when he comes back.
Ugh.
When he's done at Strasbourg and he decides to go to the Colorado Railroad Museum full time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just
in the other corner we have Tweetsea Railroad number 12. What's the full designation? Somebody please help me with that.
Class 10.
No. Like the
Where
name
is it
of the
from?
railroad. The name of the
It's
railroad.
Tweetsea. Or
The Eastern
Tennessee
Tennessee-
and Western North Carolina.
Yeah.
But the
Jesus.
Tweetsea.
Wait, hang on. Eastern Tennessee and Western North Carolina. Can we
Yeah.
not get a Southern?
I'm sure
Jesus
if they went
Christ.
to like
Oh,
Southern
no.
South Carolina or something, it would work.
Northern
No,
South
Southern
Carolina.
Virginia.
Hey,
So-
Alice, you should use this picture of 20.
Why did you take it?
No, wait. No, because 20 wasn't
Yes.
Oh God,
Yes.
no.
Wait,
Okay.
is this
Either way.
picture? I can't figure out how to use Skype.
there. Style points. It has antlers.
That will be style.
Style point
you know, that isn't the actual RGS 20, I hope you know.
That actually is Milky.
Oh, what?
That one's not the prop.
Damn it.
So
Okay.
ugly.
Well,
Anyway,
No, because
all right.
the
Who's gonna?
sniffer's
All
broken.
right. Who's gonna go
This is gonna
first?
start because he's gonna need it.
All right. Yeah. I agree. Okay, Chris, you go
Yes.
first.
okay. When were you built? Why did I start with that?
I was waiting for that to sink in.
Good question. I was built in 1899. What about you?
1915.
Oh damn.
Yikes.
Okay.
I like how that is, wow, you're really young in 1915 before we were involved in World War One. Young whippersnapper engines.
Well,
Anyway.
what is your valve gear?
I don't think you get to ask actually because I won.
Ooh.
What? No.
I don't think you won.
Oh no, you're newer. Damn it!
He's
It's
much
not older.
newer.
That's right. That's right. Damn it! I forgot about
Gold
that.
may be
I'm used
gold.
to. I'm used to thinking in the museum context of older is cooler. Anyway, yeah, my valve gear is refried dog shit cobbled together to look like Stevenson valve gear.
Well, I have Wall sharks.
Wall shirts, but okay.
No, he was
Okay.
talking about the crap.
I should point out that this has no axle loading measurement, so it is either infinitely heavy or infinitely light.
It actually hovers just above
Yeah.
the rail.
Okay. This actually has a lot more in it. Let's see. What do I want to ask? What do I
So
want
on
to ask?
Locomotive versus, I'm not used to just not staring at the pictures. I'm actually having to tab between them.
Number in class.
4, I think. 4.
Damn it, 4.
Okay, Weibel gets the ball. Also, Weibel, do you think that's a pain? When I'm in Locomotive Versus, I have to tab between the pictures for the viewers, going back and forth, change the scores, and pay attention to my stats.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys don't get to see what my screen looks like when I'm making the podcast, but there are like 5 things on one side and then 3 things on the other side.
Dual monitor.
I'm not
I
sure.
don't have enough room on my
I'm
desk.
really not sure where to start on this. Here's one. What is your minimum weight of rail?
Where? Okay. Once
already
I
established
find it,
this
I
thing
will
hovers.
gladly give it to you. Engine weight, weight on drivers, loaded tender weight, minimum weight of rail. 44. No, it's the other one. 4221. There are 2 entries, and I'm going with the second entry.
No, you go with the one that's in pounds per yard, not kilograms per meter, because we're not metric.
Okay, then 42.
Noted on the left.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 42.
38.
Nimble boy.
Nimble. I mean,
Boy.
Bastards.
don't
Alright,
say
and this is the part where Weibel rips your soul out
No,
using the devil.
no, it's really not. I'm looking at this and I'm like, ugh.
Alright, okay, we'll wait
this,
for...
I think this may be Waterloo.
We'll wait
You know
for
what
style
the hell?
points.
He loved this engine, so let's go Robert Lemessina's power computation.
Oh, Lord.
Seriously, how
Yeah.
could anyone?
You're going to
that's-
that already?
I don't know where else to go. I think if I pick power, you're gonna win, and if I pick nimble, you're still gonna win.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm really not sure where to go with this one. I'm just picking something. Robert Lemessina should give good luck because again, he liked 20.
okay. Well,
Why he's dead.
would you like to go first?
Probably. No, you go first.
2,790.
Damn it! 2,534.
Ooh.
These are really close.
Oh god, let me mark that point down. Alright. I hope this is Waterloo.
This is gonna
Okay.
be water.
It's gonna be
I can
funny.
feel
I
it.
don't understand Waterloo. Explain.
Go read his
No, we'll tell you when you're older. We'll tell you when
God
you're
damn
older.
it.
Okay.
That's gonna be my termination.
That's gonna be the title of the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll tell you when we're old. When you're older.
Hey, it's always my goal to get things be the
Okay,
cause of
what
the
is
episode.
what is your fuel capacity? How many
Tons.
tons? Oh,
Yeah. Let's see.
oil?
Forgot where all these things are located on the dock.
I know, it changed it. It's weird.
Tender fuel capacity. You serious? 20? Jesus. Okay. 5.
Holy crap, you beat me. I got 4 tons.
Wow.
Why did you try that stat? Why did you try it?
I didn't think
Okay,
you were
you're on.
5
Oh,
tons.
it's okay, Chris. I'll give it back to you. How much water do you have?
3,000 gallons.
2,500.
That's where the extra ton came from.
Dodgers beating each other with the tennis balls on the end of their canes.
Remember that first episode of season 2 of the Iron Horseman Chronicles?
Yeah.
We're watching it
Yeah.
play out in Locomotive Versus.
Yeah.
Basically.
Alrighty, let's see here. Driver diameter.
I think 40? 42.
45.
How is anything
Bigger is better? Question mark?
bigger is
Yes,
better because it
bigger.
gives you more speed. Not that speed matters too much with these guys.
You're faster and stronger, so
Okay,
Regular.
Hey, I already got the
Spoiler
episode
pressure.
named after me. Mission accomplished.
180.
okay, 180, we're even. You get them all.
Alright, okay.
I take it.
It's 2 to 5. You can do this.
I don't want that. Oh God, I really don't want. Jesus,
that.
20.
20's about to kill you.
Oh damn it! I was gonna go back to Robert Levin's power computation and do plus superheater percentage, but it's the same because it's a soaker.
Okay, guess what? I have the same one too.
Well, we're not doing that. Thank you for telling me that, by the way. How about what's your Loco base ID?
Well, according to this, we have 2 entries, and they're for the exact same locomotives. There's no difference between them other than the logo base ID. We have
Okay.
4,893 and 13,910.
Jesus Christ.
I don't understand.
Judges, which one are we gonna pick?
It depends
Yes.
what yours is. Is it
Guess
in the middle?
lower one?
Yes, mine's in the middle. Mine is 6820.
Standard deviation.
And everything else is identical?
For the most part, like there's like a few things that I've been going with one side.
Alright, which side have you been going with?
I've been going with the first side, the one on the
Which is
left.
the 4,000?
4,000, yes.
Okay, then we'll
Yeah,
go with that one. And stay consistent, stay on that one.
I don't know why. I think the other one might be 14. I don't know.
Alright,
It's weird.
well.
Okay.
Chris wins that. Then.
What is your factor of adhesion?
Oh God, that's what I didn't want to answer. 3.7.
4.18.
Yeah.
I have a style point for 20.
Well, it's too early.
We're not
Yeah.
style points yet.
Yeah.
Have you been crashed?
That's not
Yeah,
how
what's
is that
your
a style
kill
point?
count? What's your kill count? What's your KD?
Okay, what is? Okay, let's see.
That's a new question. Kill count.
What's
Okay.
your KD?
What's your KD?
How heavy are you? Weight on drivers.
Extra thick.
Weight on drivers. Of course you are 20. 69,000 even.
80,050.
So
How are
why
you
would
lighter too?
so why
He's
would
not. He said
Question mark?
80,000.
Oh, I said 69.
wins?
Viewers, as we said, it's rather late at night. Pardon me.
He's not lighter. Why would you are lighter?
yeah.
You get the
I'm
point.
lighter.
It is now 3
Thank
to
you.
6. Go for it.
Thank you.
Sorry, no, it's 3 to
what's
7.
your-
Sorry, I
Yeah, that was
I
weight
didn't-
on drivers, Chris.
Yeah, I was weight on drivers.
What's your engine weight immediately under it?
Yeah, 98,800. How is that
85,000.
heavy? How is that heavy? Jeez.
You got more water than me, so what's your tender loaded weight?
60,000.
51,600.
Mm.
What's your total engine and tender weight?
158,800.
136,600. We already did that. 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 I'm scared of that one, so we're going to skip that.
it's 6 to 7.
And that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Okay, I'm going to have to just pick one. What's the size of your cylinders?
Where are they? Hold on, as soon as I find them. Okay, this actually has high pressure cylinders at 16 by 22.
Damn it. 16 by 20.
Ooh,
20.
how fit it? 20. What is your tractive effort?
18,651.
19,149.
That was close, but
That was close.
No dice.
Let's see here. What's your firebox area? I'm actually remotely curious in this one for real life. Like, how big is a firebox?
86.88 square feet.
116 foot square.
goodness. That's a bit more.
It's a thick engine.
That doesn't make any sense. That's bigger than the 113.
Well,
Wait, no, that's 90 square foot. Never mind. But,
I was
like,
going to say, how on earth is it bigger than the 113?
you know, that's. Wait, no, 113's 72 square
The
foot. What?
firebox area has tripped people up before.
Yeah,
You
that's-
firebox area or grate area? Remember, this is different.
No,
Yeah, Firebox area is denoted
Firebox
incorrectly
including
because it
feet.
should be cubic feet.
That's
Is it
right.
cubic
Okay.
feet?
Yeah.
Is it? Because it says it expresses it as an area, but what is the area if it's not the grade area? Is it the total area of the sheets? Because that would be the total heating surface.
Well,
of
the
firebox.
heating surface
Includes the flues.
includes the flues. Yeah. So I think
And
it's
the
that.
firebox area is
We've
the-
gone down this rabbit hole
It's-
before.
It's the square footage of the firebox sheets.
Guess.
Okay.
All
Interesting.
right. Well, that's
What-
116
okay.
square foot, which makes more sense. The grade area below it makes a lot more sense if that's
Yeah.
the case.
All right.
Like,
Yeah.
jeez. That is not bigger. So, what was your number again?
86.
Okay, I'm 116.
Yeah,
So
you won that one.
now let's do the one I want to do. Grade area
14.
15.5 square foot. That makes a lot more sense than 90.
Marbled, I'm going to be disappointed if you lose.
Prepare to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What are the points right now?
6 to 11.
Oh, 611.
Damn it.
What is your ratio of driving wheelbase to overall engine wheelbase?
That one I was nervous about too. 0.54.
0.51.
Ooh,
Oh!
Wyville actually gets that.
Wait, bigger is better?
Damn it.
Yeah, it means your weight is probably better distributed because the wheelbase takes up more of the length.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
that's right. There is no axle loading.
Okay. White flag. Can we go to style points now that I've got the ball?
No!
No, we can't yet.
No.
What do
haven't
we have to hit?
We haven't hit
20?
the point threshold. Yeah, we need to do 2 more.
What is the point threshold? 20?
Yeah, 20 total. So we need
Okay.
2 more.
Okay, I've got to win 2, and then we can go to style points.
Good luck.
Okay, God, I don't want to do that one or that one. Shit.
Good luck. You picked a good one, Graham. I gotta hand it to you.
Well, I didn't know that you'd
You
be
can,
able
you
to
can
win.
do mine if you want to. It's always on the
Do
table if you're not
yours.
worried about it. The Elsmilia's weight computation. How much of your weight is on your drivers? How much total?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right.
What
So
is
take
that?
your driver, or take your weight on drivers, divide it by your engine weight.
Hold on.
What kind of math is this? This is like garbage math. Garbage
No,
math.
it's the percentage of your engine weight that's on your driver. So it speaks to how well that weight is distributed.
No, this is
what-
fake.
81%, so actually pretty good.
That is pretty good. Weight on drivers divided by engine weight.
Times 100.
Times
Yeah.
100. You don't need to do
Eight.
that though.
I get an answer of 0.81.
We've got exactly the same.
0.81 what?
0.81022267.
All right, and Wyville, yours is 81.
Hang on, let me run it again. I closed calculator.
Oh,
Divided
that is
by
really close.
8117.
Oh, Wyville wins by less than 1/10%. Okay. All right, we need to.
Hey,
we need to-
hey, Graham, ask a question. Any question, it doesn't matter.
Like,
We're not at style points yet, are we?
No,
No,
but if
but
he
you-
asks the question and I lose, it doesn't go to you because I didn't ask the question. So we can go to style.
Graham,
points.
don't
Graham,
ask a
ask the
question.
question.
Don't ask
Graham,
the
Graham,
question.
don't ask a question.
Question.
did we do
You
wheel
20 bucks
diameter?
not to do it.
We did do
already
that.
did
Yes.
Um,
Graham, don't ask a question.
Don't do it.
I won't
Ask
tell
a
you
question.
anything else. I will get crispy on your ass.
Ask your question.
I don't know what question to ask. That's a problem.
Good.
Well,
Somebody-
then don't
Just
ask
ask
one.
anything. Ask anything. I don't care
Don't
if
do
I
it.
lose.
Don't do it.
Any technical stat about these locomotives. Ask
do it.
anything.
Is there like
What?
a smokestack link?
Hasn't anybody ever?
No, but there are
besides-
bills for that.
God damn.
No, we don't have stats for how long the smoke
Come on.
Secondly.
Ask your question.
All right.
Oh, air compressors. How many? What kind of air compressors?
That doesn't.
No. No.
Actually, okay. Although, fuck.
You both have single stage air compressors. That doesn't help anyway.
One single stage air compressor and tiny little reservoirs.
Does 20 have comfy seats? Sure.
No.
No.
because it doesn't
This
have
tweets
seats.
you have train line steam, Chris? I wouldn't think so, but
Neither of these do.
okay, never mind.
No.
Moving on.
Although, yeah, it's a tie on the air pressure and it's a tie on the seats. Ask something else, Graham.
Wyville, you just gotta ask something, man. You just gotta bite the bullet.
Wyville, just PM me a dumb question to ask.
Graham,
Don't do
what-
that.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Damn it,
It's against
damn
the
it.
rules.
No,
Graham,
Wyville, you
what
can't do
rhymes
it.
with
You can't
Back.
do it.
Schmengen, Smealbase?
Okay, what's your engine
Hold on,
building?
hold on.
It's
I didn't get to say what I wanted to say.
18.17 feet. Chris.
I didn't get to say what I wanted to say. Graham, ask a question on how big the air pumps are, what size they are.
No, don't do that. That won't
Have-
help. Also, Chris, don't tell him to ask a question. He's
Okay,
Okay. What
What's the
was the
engine-
question that was
all right,
asked?
here's
Like,
my question. Engine wheelbase.
18.17.
19.5.
Hey, I
Okay.
actually
You
won.
would have won that anyway. God damn it! All right, we're
Damn
at
it.
20
Need to be
points.
scared. Oh well. Now we're in style points.
No, here we fucking
All
go.
right, we're in style.
Move the ball,
Wait.
if you would kindly, and give me
Wait,
one
wait,
of my
wait,
hands.
wait.
back. I'd like
Is
to
that
make a
like-
fist out of it.
Is that one of the?
Okay.
Is that like an exception to the locomotive versus rules,
What?
or did we just make a new rule that
No,
the
we
guest?
didn't make a new rule. Why
the
will just
guest-
why
okay,
will
so
just
20th
use
question.
you to exploit existing rules?
I
So-
just sort of was cheeky about it, but
So,
it worked.
okay, so the
Literally
ball
what
is in my
Wyville
court,
does
correct?
best.
Yeah.
Ball is in my court, correct?
The ball is in anyone's court.
No,
We're at
it's
style points.
not.
We're at style points. So you can't do mechanical stats anymore. But
Okay.
you know.
Have you run in preservation?
It should be more like a hey, I've run in preservation, but
Do you continue
What's your
the
total
one in
mileage,
preservation?
Chris?
My total, I don't know.
Chris has run in
Because
preservation.
mine is somewhere more than 3,000.
Has everyone God damn it. Has everyone is everyone got 1 out of 4 survivors?
I mean,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Style
I
point for
thought there was
20.
more of you, Chris.
It's
Ooh.
been in.
Actually, yes.
It's been in a movie.
Don't just Graham. Thank
I mean-
you for asking a question. Now let me question.
Well wait, no, has
'Kay.
how many movies? How many movies has 20 been in versus have they both had movie appearances?
I don't know. Let me find out.
I believe the Trixie
20.
has.
20 has been in several. The most prominent was, and I think this might actually be a separate one, so I'm going to save it. So 20's been in movies, yes.
You're just
Okay,
sandbagging,
yes.
alright.
Yeah, Emma
Well,
Sweeney.
Alright, they've both
Tweety
been in
12.
movies.
Tweety
Yeah,
12 has been in a movie, and it's been in the movie Red Runs the River.
Alright, that's all that matters. We've got film appearances. Who has
Yep.
do you both have trains models?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait, Tweety's 12 model is standard gauge, though. It's completely wrong.
Close enough.
No, there's an Average model of it out there somewhere. I've seen it before.
Is it made by the fake K&L guy, Graham?
Possibly.
Yes, I know he made one, but I know there's an Air gauge model out there. I've seen it before.
Yeah, I think I've also seen the nails.
So there is one out there.
Okay, as much as we're joking about it, I think this is a style point for better or worse. What's your kill-death ratio?
God damn it. That
Mine is
shouldn't be
somewhere
a style point that you murdered people. No.
That's
It's
mine.
cool.
Zero.
It's unique.
It's cool.
It's certainly style. It's certainly style. It's somewhere
I
between
don't think
20
murder
and
is
50.
style.
Somewhere between
we
0
use
and
a
0.
point for murders?
Yeah, wait, okay, so we
Count
need a tiebreaker on this. Well, actually, I don't think that's a valid style point. I don't think
it
murder
is
is a valid
either.
style point. Milky doesn't think it's a valid style point.
No, I don't either.
So, okay, no,
Okay.
murder's not a valid style point.
Okay. You say number of survivors. There's an exact replica of 20 in wood in her movie appearance that is preserved.
Don't think that.
No,
should
that doesn't
count.
count.
No, it doesn't count.
That's pretty
Like-
funny, though. That is pretty. Actually, no. You know
It's
what?
fake.
You know what? You know what?
guys have got to give me something.
No.
Like,
I will.
come
wait,
on.
Shush. I will give you that, but not on the basis that it's another survivor, but on the basis that you had a full replica made out of wood for a movie.
Yeah, no, not because it's another survivor. We have literally an exact replica of the locomotive in wood, and it's actually really convincing.
That's hilarious.
you should put it in front of it. This is off topic. You should totally just take that to the museum and do
swap
20 and 22.
Swap it for 20 at Strasbourg.
Oh no,
It's
no,
about
you
as
win the
useful.
Strasbourg and
The
then
old
take 20 back
switcheroo.
in the middle of the night.
It's about as useful. Also, 20 was okay, so this one's kind of interesting. Marilyn Monroe, a very famous movie star, her first
Never heard
ever
of it.
spoken dialogue in a movie, ever, was in the same frame with 20 right behind her.
It's amazing
wow.
she survived.
Yes,
Okay.
yes it is.
Okay, I'll
We've
give
been
a
told
for
that
that.
We've been told that the ghost of Marilyn Monroe haunts our roundhouse for some reason, and I don't think it's Marilyn Monroe. I think it's some railroader that when the ghost hunters asked who they were, they went, "I'm Marilyn fucking Monroe. Who do you think?" And they just didn't get the rest of it.
Yeah, well, because,
No.
ghosts are well known for trying to impersonate other people.
Yeah, totally.
It's a railroad
Okay.
ghost. It's
Okay,
it's gonna
okay.
be snide.
I have a question. I have a style point. Do you have a wooden model? And I'm not meaning.
No. Listen.
What?
This is a
Can't be
disaster.
libeled
Listen.
wood model.
We gave him a point for having a wooden model. If you have a wooden model too, I'm still giving him the point because his is bigger and size matters.
No,
Mine's cooler.
no. But
Yes.
do you have one of these?
If it's one of the little Brio things, then no, because
Okay,
that's stupid.
Point for me.
No.
No.
Do you?
But do you have any models? Like models?
You already had.
Yeah.
Do you run in preservation point?
No. Do you run currently?
That's the same point. All right,
Yeah, it's the same thing.
judges. I would say it's the same point. Judges.
Fuck TJ and his auto replies.
Well,
That
Graham's
has
just not
absolutely
even
nothing to do with this.
yeah, Graham, there's a time and a place for everything.
All right. Well, has your locomotive ever had antlers on it, Chris?
That's a part of the
I'm
movie point,
sure
Graham.
at some point, but I cannot confirm. This is Tweetsy. It
Then
is currently painted green and red,
No,
so
no,
you
the
know.
answers
it's
were
big-
part of the
so
movie,
here's-
Graham. So it goes to
Here's
the
an
movie
interesting one. Here's an interesting one. Sort of in the same vein, but not because of the. Well, it is because of the movie, but it's not from the movie. 20 in its later days wore a livery that was actually kind of interesting. It had a full mural of a three-masted clipper ship painted onto the side of the tender. And
Is there
no,
a picture of
it
this?
was. Yes, there was. There
I
is.
want
I
to
have
see
one
this
right here.
picture.
Hang on. Hang on.
I have it.
This is not from the movie. This was after she was repainted back to Rio Grande Southern. They repainted the clip. No, that's the movie. They
Okay.
repainted it in a different spot during freight service.
Ah,
oh wait, yeah, I saw a picture of this.
What the deuce?
That's cool.
real
They
Graham
like-
Filter.
It's called the RGS Clipper Ship, and they kept it after the movie.
Aw, that's actually
Because-
nice.
Yeah. So 20 in again the vein of style had a three-masted clipper on her tender for a while.
Nice.
Okay.
And that
we have a point
reminds-
for
Well,
that.
in that vein,
Yeah, that-
I am green.
I was also green, so stuff it.
Yeah.
I am
also,
currently
green is not
green.
better than any other color.
I am currently white, brown, beige, red, and primer and titty pink. So fuck you.
That
Hey,
doesn't
children.
count your tart apart.
Children, come on. Think of the children.
Yeah.
Look, I should have. Okay, I am running at an amusement park, the Tweetsy Railroad, the park that
Stolen
it
by
is-
a clown. So sorry.
because of 12. There is now an amusement park at where this railroad was,
Congrats.
and it has grown to become of that.
Okay.
It is
I
one of the
should have
last
not picked
remaining.
this
So it
locomotive.
still runs on its original railroad, so that
No, it doesn't run on its original railroad.
damn it.
Nice try,
sorry.
Mikey.
I should have not picked this locomotive versus there's so much hate.
But
The
There's-
road.
20
There's always
visits
so much.
DNS, it's going to run on original RGS rails, about 30 feet of it. But
About
Well-
3 feet.
well,
It's not on the original
see, the thing is that this
Yeah, it
now it runs on a Tweetsy runs on a loop of track. However, it was one of those Rebel Railroad, south or southern western frontier type tourist trap railroads that they had all throughout the 60s and 70s. This is one of the few that have survived today. It is a real piece of Americana.
what do you
Style
think
point
the
for that.
museum is?
The style point, what The museum is a museum. It wasn't a Western shootout
God
theme
damn it.
park.
It kinda was.
No, it wasn't.
You're right. Back in the day, it wasn't an amusement park. It was a motel.
Yes, it was a motel, and you deserve a point for that. If I can get a point for it being a Rebel Railroad amusement park, you can get a point for that.
Okay, then nobody gets any points here. This
Yeah, I was
entire
gonna say, so
conversation
the
is
point
stupid.
is moot. That's the point
on.
is moot.
In the spirit of October, let me see if I can find a photo of this.
The spooky
Oh.
scheme.
The spooky train.
The haunted train.
No, that's
Or
the
what
wrong
picture
one.
you post of it. A picture of 20 just normally is more terrifying.
I mean, yes, I agree with that 100%.
Hey,
This
guys,
happens every
to-
year.
just to take a side note and ridicule TJ for a second. Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
Have you not seen that before?
No! I haven't.
So bad.
Wait, what?
Ridicule
What?
TJ
What
for
are
a second. Okay, so 9 hours ago, no, 7 hours ago, 8 hours ago, TJ messaged me, and he goes, "Hey, the thing at Essex is a week from today, right?" And I said yes, and we had this whole conversation about it, planning logistics, how he's going to get up, like down here and then back to college and everything. I just got a message from him. Hey, the thing at Essex is next weekend, right? And I sent him a quote of his message from 8 hours ago and wrote, "The answer is still yes."
I messaged him
Yes,
yesterday,
dude.
and he didn't reply until today.
What, TJ?
Okay,
Yeah,
Well, when did you message him?
yesterday.
His girlfriend has been there. Like, she was visiting from college.
okay.
All right, back to locomotive versus.
Back to locomotive versus. Do you light up?
What?
And I'm not meaning in a fiery explosion ball.
Okay, that's a achievement style.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
I
yeah.
light up?
Light
I'm
up.
giving him a style point for that.
To be fair, hold on once.
Oh, Christmas train.
Wait, spoilers for the news.
Real quick, take a look at this
That's
photo.
not
I was
spoilers.
look at the cars.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
So, do you light up? No.
Color.
No, because we're tasteful.
Yes, you are tasteful.
we have taste and eyes.
Eyes. Well, they don't.
What do you mean,
They
we're not
had eyes.
Bioluminescence of the train.
Jesus. Okay, this will be one. When Win 20 returns to operation, notice when. If,
Right. When?
Well, yeah. When it returns to operation at the museum, it will burn the same coal that it burned on its native rails more than 100 years ago. On both home railroads, actually, the Florence and Cripple Creek and the RGS.
Okay.
They all use king coal.
Yeah.
I mean, where else are you gonna get coal out there?
You
There really
guys-
aren't
you
that
guys
many
think
other
that's a-
mines.
Do you guys think that that's a style point?
No,
Yes.
no.
Nobody
Chris,
has-
you don't get to
Chris,
say.
they're my
The people that I'm asking are Graham and
Fuck
Milky.
No.
Yes.
Flip a
I-
coin.
I don't think so.
No, the flip coin.
I mean, it's a cool thing, but no.
I don't know. I don't think
It's
so.
a
Whole thing. That's literally the point of style points.
I don't think it's that. Whatever. Yeah, I'll give you the point. Fine, it's 1313. You happy?
Okay, do you have a custom number plate?
Yes.
Doesn't
We sold them in the gift shop for a while. Yes, bitch, get on my level.
No, like this.
I will, Chris. I am going. Yes, we sold those in the gift shop. Builders plates too. Did you sell those? Do you have those?
Yes, they have them.
If you haven't figured it out, Chris, I'm going to fight you tooth and nail over this thing. I've clawed my way back from nothing with the fucking 20. Can you buy kits of your engine in 7.5-inch gauge? Because there's like
it's like
37 and a
Napoleon,
half
except he's tall.
Yes.
Yes.
This will not be Waterloo.
That's what
We
Napoleon.
will not go quietly into that cold night. We'll fight them on the trenches. We'll fight them at the beaches. We'll fight the tweed
In the
sea.
beaches,
Okay,
on the
Rico,
trenches.
calm down.
Right.
On the- yes. Did I say that?
Yes.
God damn it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
oh! I just remembered something. You were in movies. We were both in movies. We've established
Yes,
this.
both
Even
in
though I was in
movies.
more movies, but whatever. I was on TV as well. I was in a television program. The children's
Okay.
Casey Jones television program. I was
so
used
you're
for the
both
interview.
in media.
No. That's pretty cool. It's Casey Jones.
Milky, it's very clear you want me to lose. Just let me make a case here.
I mean, to be fair, I also want you to lose.
Yeah.
Well, everybody
I wanna
wants me to
fucking
lose,
beat you.
but I'm determined to not lose. You at
I
least
don't.
remember.
I don't want you to lose.
Graham, nobody cares.
I try my best, Wyatt. I try my best.
You at least have the decency to be impartial about it.
I live my life. I try to live a life of neutrality.
Oh my god. This,
Okay,
this
Switzerland.
Kind of
Tell my
hilarious.
wife I said hello.
Somebody took an RCS 20 model and actually made it into 12.
God damn it.
This is further proof. I am definitive. You are derivative.
Ooh.
Pretty sure this was a Baldwin standard
Yeah,
design.
but here's the thing. I don't want to give you the
I
point
need
for that because you
Baldwin.
use derivatives and I hate calculus.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
No,
fair point.
okay, no, because that's gonna be nothing.
That wasn't even Baldwin. I was built by Schenectady with a lopsided boiler.
Yeah, that's what they
Wait
do.
a minute, which one's the better builder?
Did 20 have a
No, we
fire
can't
trial?
do that. We skipped over it, and I went
Yeah.
to style points beforehand, so I don't need to
Alright.
get scared.
Builders
Wait,
and stock points.
Wait. Does 20 have its original whistle?
The open pipe
yes.
zero time? Yes.
It has several.
What do you guys use for your electrical?
For electrical,
Yeah.
like the brand,
Yeah, what brand?
Pile National.
I
I don't know. It looks like a pile on it, but I don't know. Actually, no, it's a pile.
not a
That's
pile.
It looks like a pile on it.
Well, I tried.
It's
Okay.
not. It doesn't look like a sunbeam. I'm not sure what it is, but it doesn't look pile unless it's
It
got
does-
just a cosmetic cover it over it.
It
'cause
might
the
have a
shape is
cosmetic covering on it. I don't think that's the original Dynamo. I kind of doubt that it is.
Yeah,
Those are things that get replaced.
placed a lot.
What about valves? Do you have air ringers or anything?
No,
Yeah. What do you guys? What do you got?
we don't have an air ringer. Neither does the Tweetsy engine.
Tweetsy has an air ringer. It has a piston.
And why are they ringing the bell with the cord?
The cord is on there as a failsafe. The cord is on there as a failsafe.
Because porque no las
113.
dos.
I mean, technically, legally, you should have both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is there. It is there as a failsafe, and the fact that it doesn't work, that you can still ring the goddamn bell. So boom, I got a point for the fucking piston that you guys hate.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
it's stupid and overly complicated
No, you.
and not very standard.
Can I have a style point for the Treaty engine for its walkway because you can still walk on it?
You can still walk on 20s.
I mean, you
Okay,
walk on the other side.
I'm talking about the air compressor area.
Yeah, there's an air
here, because
compressor
on
in the
20
way.
you have
Yes,
to kind of step
yes.
around the air compressor to go around
You
it.
do
and
on the
then
Tweetsy
maybe
engine, too.
platform.
No,
Actually,
but
that's
look,
correct.
we'll-
No. They're both right. You're both. It's the air compressor's in the friggin' way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both engines, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why the
Okay.
DNS.
Air compressor on the
Okay,
Treaty engine.
okay,
Also, hey, wait,
okay.
I have a question.
Kind of-
What?
Did the Tweetsy engine get like smoke box extends at some point?
Yes, it did get a smoke box extension. Was put on by Baldwin.
Does that count as an extension if it's built with it?
It wasn't built with it, but Baldwin said, "Okay, here we'll come down and do it," because we made it wrong. They fucked up the drafting or something like that. Nicole, they tested it. Something stupid.
So
Now-
you're saying
now-
they broke it first and they fixed it? Okay, never mind. I was
Okay.
gonna give you a point for
Okay.
that, but then you said they broke it.
Here's how to spin this one.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so the kill count doesn't count as style because I agree it's rather macabre and morbid. However, 20 has survived a lot
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
for major accidents.
Yeah. No, that's a point I was gonna give you for, and if anybody brought it up.
What's the current thing?
It's 15-14.
I'm-
He just took the lead.
Okay. Well, what about this? Has 20 ever been in any grand ceremonies on its original railroad?
Yes, it has.
God damn it.
Seems like
It
a
was
silly
the favorite.
question to ask.
It was the favorite engine, except for when the FRA came around, or the ICC at that point.
Yeah.
When the ICC came around to do the actual inspections for mechanical fitness of the locomotives, they would hide 20 in the back shop and say, "Oh, it's out running on the railroad. I guess you'll have to look at it next time."
God damn it. Why? Well, I know why,
Because
but
they were scared as hell that they would look at the engine and go, "Ugh." Shivers. Also,
okay.
I don't know if this one is, but it's worth throwing out there. It's worth a shot. 20 is perhaps the most comprehensive rebuild in preservation in the U.S.
Yeah.
They have replaced literally everything. Quoted from Lynn Modanger, one of the top steam guys, at least for restoration in the country. It has been the most challenging thing of his career.
yeah, because he's challenged.
No, don't
he's
give a stop point.
because he's torn about giving it back.
Chris, nobody's asking you.
I'm still saying no. I'm still voicing my
The least you can do is not call it. No, don't give him a stop point. Don't give him a stop point. Don't give him a stop point.
And you're railroad guys. That's all I expect of you.
Yeah.
I mean, we all are. But anyway, what do you guys think, Milky? You think that having a huge comprehensive rebuild is grounds for a style point?
No, because it's like, if you rebuild an old car with all new parts, is it the same old car? It's the new car.
I mean, you get shit with Theseus, but you know.
No,
I'm not entirely
okay. Here's the stop point then. Here's the stop point then. Here's the stop point then. Here's the stop point. Rather, this is a point of contention at the museum because it's something we're all kind of unhappy about.
Oh no.
But the reason 20's rebuild has taken so long and has been so expensive is because it does not have a new boiler or new wheel centers or new spring hanger components, new steam chest, new anything. All of the parts are original, but they've been meticulously patched back together and made structurally sound. They're still the original pieces. They've just been repaired.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when did the RGS close?
52.
We closed in 1953.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The thing was, this was the last locomotive that actually ran on the Tweety as well,
Is that?
cleaning up the rails.
Okay.
F.
Was 20 the last engine on the RGS?
Jeff would know. I don't think
I
so.
would hope
No.
not.
Oh,
It
well,
would be
455
by
was
steam
fine.
engine standards. I suppose so.
Because the
Yeah.
last engine on the railroad.
455 was the one that picked up the rails, right?
I believe so. It was split between 455, 460, or no. It wasn't 455 because 455 was down for a rebuild.
Oh.
We were talking about this last night. 455, tragically enough, it had just got new tires and new crown brass put on it when they were told to scrap it.
Oh.
They literally just put the wheels and running gear back together on it. They were told, okay, now roll it out front and cut it up.
Oof.
Yeah.
That must have
Rip.
made the shop guys
Really,
happy.
really big oof.
That's a really great use
don't-
of money.
I don't think this one got talked about too much because there was a lot of yelling going on, but I do think there's some credence to it. 20, when it is done, we will travel to the DNS, and although there's not much left of it, the RGS did run to Durango, and 20 did come to Durango fairly regularly. It will be running on a little piece of its home road. In fact, the only piece of its home road left. And it actually did run on the entirety of the Silverton went for tickets to Tomahawk. So
Well, I mean, that's movie. But now hold on.
Didn't Chris say that Tweetsy is like original location or something?
We'd see
It's echoing.
where it is now is not the original location. However, does the RGS as a railroad have any part of it aside from that part of Durango because it's part of the DNS and the yard and all that? Does any part of the RGS have rails laid on it that you could take 22?
no.
This is not railroad
Tweety
versus,
does.
I may remind.
Tweety does.
This
There is a
not railroad
section in the
versus-
Shade Gap
not.
Gorge that they have.
No, that doesn't count. That's garbage.
It's not railroad
I
versus.
can see
We've
the
tried
style
this.
point.
We've tried this before. We went down this rabbit hole once or twice.
Has 20 pushed Thomas? Has 20 pushed Thomas?
Oh, that's not a style point.
Yes, it is. Well,
No.
No.
That is not a style point. It would only be a style point if they were both running in the era of Thomas Excursions. It could only be a style point if they were both
Which I
running in the
mean,
era.
that could happen in the future.
Like, it could happen in the future.
It probably will
does
happen
not-
in the
yeah,
future.
It does not matter. Right
Actually,
now.
I don't know. It might. Maybe for switching. 20 probably won't have the balls to pull the Thomas train.
And blame it.
I wouldn't want to.
It's a big train.
And the next film,
It's 20
Thomas effing
featured-
dies.
Yes.
20 featured on Shutterstock.
All right, we're done
Probably.
here. We're reaching a little bit.
No, I'm not accepting defeat.
Chris, it's over.
Chris,
That's
you
so
almost
close.
beat Weibel. Just be happy with yourself.
What
But-
whistle do you have? What whistle do
You
you have?
put up a valiant fight.
What fucking whistle?
Damn it. Did we ask about the whistle?
No, but we didn't
We have four
decide.
whistles. What whistle do you have?
All of them. We have the single chime. We have a 3 chime. Well, actually, we don't have the 3 chime. We have a 3
What
chime. We have a
whistle
5
will
chime.
it wear when it gets back?
When it first returns, it'll wear the single chime because that's what for some reason, that's outlined in the restoration. Like the actual documents for it. And then after that, it'll wear the 5 chime because it's
5.
getting put in wartime paint.
5 chime,
Okay.
please.
You have a Crosby 3 chime on it.
Congrats.
Alright, Weibel
Each
wins.
chimes is better
No.
than one.
I'm calling it.
Oh wait, we have to
I'm
do
calling-
votes.
I'm calling it.
Hold on,
Yeah, I
hold on.
know.
One more. Do you have a Lego model?
Yes.
Anyway,
God damn.
moving on.
Did you make it?
Alright,
Yeah.
so let's do our votes.
Okay.
I
Chris.
vote for RGS 20.
Bastard.
You know something? I've never understood 20 before. And
And now
now
you do.
I know what it feels like to have been beat down constantly and have everything going against you and to have finally triumphed and have something to look forward to
Yeah, except then you get lost for 3 months and stuck at Strasbourg with Lynn Moedinger.
for 10 years. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
well. We'll skip that part. 20. We're ready for you to come home.
Yeah, but then,
And I've done good by
Weibel,
you.
then it gets worse. Then you get to have you inside you.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds painful on a number of levels.
Anyways, I vote for RGS 20. Milky, Graham, what do you vote for? Actually, I think I know already.
Milky, go ahead.
RGS.
I swear to fucking
Okay,
God.
that
Graham,
that's
I
pressing.
swear to
Why,
fucking God, you piece of shit. I will never tell you anything again. I will get
Alright.
electricity on your ass.
All right.
Ooh.
I really like both engines.
Graham vote against it.
Graham,
Do it.
Graham,
Graham.
Chris threatens that. Don't feel pressured to vote either way.
I feel
Oh,
a
I
lot of
fucking won.
pressure.
No pressure though.
All right, I'm gonna vote Rio Grande Southern 20 because
And there
that's
it is.
that's the engine I'm probably gonna see in real life first.
Alright, Graham, I hope you can live with yourself. Anyway,
Chris is gonna kill me, but it's okay.
I mean, Chris would have gotten the pity vote, so there is no pity.
I've already sent the messages. Be warned.
God damn it. Anyway,
I live to fight another day.
Yeah. Anyway, the rare occurrence where Rivaled actually fights on on Locomotive Versus. Anyway, we've got 2 open spots for Locomotive Versus, so anybody that if you got a real good idea, go ahead and post it down in the comments, and we'll see if we can have it on the show at some point. Anyway, so let's move on to Fresh from the Shop. Now, there's quite a bit of stuff. Some people have more stuff than others.
Very
No,
little,
you know
very
what's
little
special
rec related,
about
thankfully, this
Ellen?
week.
What?
Skookum is fresh from the shop.
Yes! I love Skookum.
And there's a few
Such a
videos
cool
on
name.
the Oregon Coast Scenics Facebook page of Skookum moving a little bit. And you may notice that one sub Tribers isn't under Steam.
Oh no.
So then
Oh.
it promptly went back into the shop.
Oh no. Skookum, no.
Oh wait, I gotta do news now.
I would ask what went wrong, but I have a feeling I know, and I can't say it on the podcast.
Skookumed. It got skookumed.
Well, you know what? It went back into the shop as quick as it came out. So
Speaking of things that failed,
Skookum IRL.
if you guys remember, Norfolk Southern tried to build a battery-powered locomotive, and it failed because it basically needed to be plugged into a giant extension cord all the time. And General Electric is building a new one.
Well,
Guess what?
this-
It's gonna do the same thing.
I mean, I don't know. We've had advances in battery technology since then. We have some pretty successful electric cars now, so I want to see if they
Didn't
can
the
scale
British
it up.
build one like 100 years ago and it worked?
Guys,
I don't know.
I don't
Did
want
they?
to be a damper, but I need to get
I
to
thought
sleep.
it's a
I
Staffordshire
really need
Electric.
to go.
Shame on you. All right, well, do your one piece of news, and then we'll sign you off.
One piece of news is once I actually go to the internet and not to the Skype browser, which is where the Terminus dock is.
we.
I don't know why the hell I went there.
I don't know why you did either.
Let's see here. 250 years of coal mining. Hold on, wait a minute. This is from September 12th! Why the hell is this here?
Because
been
we
hanging
just
around.
over it that much.
Okay, get rid of that. That's way old news. I will pick
Way
a
old,
random news member out of here. And by that, we're going to say this one. Age of Steam Roundhouse has acquired a new locomotive. They have acquired
Of course.
Lake
Of
Erie
course they
Railroad 060 number 3960. There's a very interesting history. You can read it in the article. They have acquired it from a park. They've offloaded it. It is at the Roundhouse and will be going for a cosmetic restoration, not an operational one.
Boo. Okay.
Boo. Mega
No,
sad.
can't win them all. So that is
Catch
my
'em.
one piece of news. Somebody, for the record, I don't care who. Somebody, please do Shady Railroad for the love of God.
Okay, I'll do it. So, we'll see. I don't know the whole story. I'm not sure what the whole story is. Where did
I don't
the
know, but
Shady
just
Railroad
cover it.
thing go? Here it is.
Just-
It's just a frickin'. It's an article from an
Weird.
website called Lost Coast Outpost about shady company behind East-West Railroad scheme updates website still can't spell. So
Doctors hate this railroad.
yes.
Yeah.
It's so there's a Sacramento man who is the guest speaker
Sacramento,
at
man.
the July meeting of the Humboldt Bay Harbor Working Group, a collection of rail enthusiasts who gather once a month at the Samoa Cookhouse. And he talked about a company called Pacific Charter Financial Services, and he wants to build a railroad from Eureka? Which
Yep,
Eureka?
Eureka. We talked about
California?
this. California.
Where? To New York. And
Stop it.
so, yeah. And apparently they have updated their website, and they have managed to misspell financial, first of all, and their own railroad name, Pacific Northwest Railroad. So,
That's a little bit of a want name considering they don't really run in the Pacific Northwest that much.
Well,
Or-
speaking of Pacific Northwest, the parlor cars that Amtrak used to run in the Pacific Northwest are being sold with a whole
Yeah, I
bunch
know.
of
I'm
other,
going to bid $1 for the Willamette Valley car.
with a whole bunch
I
of
got
other
you.
stuff. Amtrak is selling P40s, F40s, baggage cars, fleets, all kinds of stuff. So
Gib,
if you're rich, go buy some Amtrak equipment.
Or if you happen to have $1 and they take your bid.
As
And then
my
what?
determination.
Yeah, I was gonna say, congratulations, you bought the car for $1. Now you have to move it and put it somewhere,
Yeah.
or else you're gonna wind up paying through the nose to keep it stored there.
Yeah, that's true.
Chris, goddammit.
I got contacts.
I am watching it, guys. I want that. I am signing off. Graham.
Alrighty, night, Chris.
Good night.
Where did that
I'm concerned for my life.
article go?
I deleted it.
I need that.
I gulagged it.
Undo it.
Ungulag it.
Yeah.
While we're undoing Graham's mistake, I'll talk about
Wait, this
something
is a
else
different thing.
related
This
to the
is
Northwest.
ticket sale. Where's the other thing?
Oh. It's gone.
Please get it back.
Put this thing back where it came from, so help me.
So help me, and cut.
I need it back.
Crap. So, the other Amtrak fall sale, they had a ticket sale. Woo.
Control
and now
Z,
I'm in
goddammit.
trouble.
Give me that back.
And now I'll never be on the podcast ever again. Hang on. Had no key.
Well, going back to the Northwest, there's an SP&S caboose that has been purchased by the Ballard Terminal Railroad,
Where are they?
and it's being restored.
Who are they? Where are they? What do they do?
Ballard it's near Seattle.
Oh, okay.
They're a little short line that has I think an SW1 and an SW9 as their main power.
Thanks.
But-
I guess. Let me
Just a neat little.
Yeah, we have to make it into a thing.
I'll fix it.
Oh.
Okay.
And I'm up in the Washington area. I can talk about this. The Peninsula Railway and Lumberman's Museum, that's a handful, has posted their work party summaries from May to September on their website.
Party.
Yep. They're the group up in Washington. We are preserving, I think, a 20-mile long stretch of a logging railroad, which happened to be the last one of its kind in the U.S. There's no longer any lumber company-owned railroads operating in the U.S. They were the final one. But they were able to acquire a few pieces of equipment, and they hope to, and what they're working towards now is running excursions over this.
Cool.
So yeah, that should be pretty nice. While we're on the point of
Speaking of
excursions, Albany and Eastern is running two
Damn.
Halloween excursions. One is the 21 and over event with booze, and
Yay.
the other one is for kiddies. So yay.
Yay. So one has booze, and the other one doesn't.
Speaking of events that don't have booze, Christmas Ships at WST is a sale.
Wait,
The
Christmas
tickets are going on
ships?
sale. Ships.
Ships?
Boats.
What?
If it fits, it ships.
Why do you guys have...
I was about to say, did Weibel die?
There's an organization on the Willamette River, which we go next to on the WST, that paints up, or that does boats up for Christmas, because it's fun.
Oh!
Speaking
that's
about Christmas trains, Canadian Pacific is running 2 holiday trains with a bunch of lights and shit on them.
That's to make up for Amtrak not doing anything fun.
Yep. And, well, while we were talking about excursions, the 1225 was running excursions, and a very special 7-year-old got to operate the engine
Hey.
because people raised enough money, and he needed it. So it's all good.
Yeah, what
So-
you wanna fill in why he got to run
He
the
had-
engine?
I think he had a stroke, right? And then
Yeah,
he was
he
in
had a
a
stroke.
helicopter, and then he was flying over the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad in Ohio, and it really calmed him down that he was flying over the railroad that he loved. And so then people raised $1,000 for the time on the throttle, and he was probably the youngest person to ever operate 1225,
Aw.
except for the
cool.
boy in the Polar Express movie.
Well, I mean, is he supposed to be younger than 7?
I think
Maybe.
he's older than 7.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
thought it
will
was like-
kid.
9, but I have no idea. I'm terrible at judging ages.
Conspiracy
I
theory.
mean, although look at the main plot of the movie. When do you start doubting that Santa's a thing? For me,
Also-
it was like 3rd grade, maybe 4th grade,
Which is like,
which
what?
is like 10, 11.
yeah.
No.
Also, what do you mean doubting Santa Claus?
What?
Are you trying to tell me that Santa Claus isn't a real thing?
No, doubted that he would be late.
Oh, okay, I understand. That's just like,
doubter. You're a oh God. On a similar note, I had a kid not too long ago. It
Congrats.
was one of the last times I was on the train. Yeah, thank you. So the last times I was running crew on the train, we're going around in circles, and everybody else is having a good time. They're asking questions, and this one kid looks over to me and he asks the question, "So where are the tracks up to the North Pole?"
Oh no.
Wait,
Well,
why
we may
will
not have
they-
tracks to the North Pole.
Apps and spreadsheets running through my head as I'm trying to figure out,
They had
Why will-
washout at Salmonberry.
Oh man,
Why-
I
said-
freaking
Wait,
I had a kid when I was tutoring that like had just a moment of you see like the cogs in a kid's mind turning when they're about to ask a serious question that they don't know the
Yeah.
answer to. And literally
Right.
just in the
They
middle of
really
tutoring.
don't want to
you know,
answer.
Yeah. Blah 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 blah. Just in the middle of a conversation with the kid. Where do babies come from? I was like, maybe you should talk to your parents about that. But anyway, we might not have rails.
Although that's
Pole.
equally as terrifying, because then the kid goes home and says, "Ellis told me to ask you where
God damn
babies come from."
Yeah.
wait, Weibel, don't you
That's how
get a
you get in
point because that
serious
was the
trouble.
wrong section?
Yeah.
Man,
it was
I mean, you
creative.
can tie in stories down here, but that's just
Yeah.
a section reserved for
That
them.
wasn't
Right.
current. That's just an anecdote to do with Polar Express. Which,
Also-
speaking of,
No, I've been trying to segue for this for 30 seconds.
sorry.
I was trying to say, we may not have rails to the North Pole, but we might have rails to the moon. And the COG just broke a record for a single-day passenger record. So, 2,107 passengers to the summit and back on the first of the 3-day Columbus Day weekend.
How many
Unfortunately,
people does a coach hold?
I like 80 something.
So they had a lot of trains
They have
to
a
the
lot
summit.
of trains. They do. They have a lot of trains.
Were they
but-
running steam?
They probably ran 2 steam engines, but I'm not sure if they do on
I
Columbus Day
saw a
weekend. It's a
picture.
little bit
I saw a
late.
picture of number 2 running.
Yeah, Womback is usually the go-to, and then they have one more as a backup, and then they have a couple more that are like stored serviceable, and then they have all the other ones.
Yeah, the
which are, like-
diesels.
No. I'm talking about like all the other steam engines. Some like a couple of them are on
Oh.
display, but most of them are like we're going to cannibalize these slowly.
Yeah.
They have, if they really wanted to, and if they decided to get the parts, they could have like 6 steam engines running pretty quickly. But
Which strikes me as so odd. Why would you ever need? Why do they have that many to begin with?
why did they have that? Well, they had them because you would send trains up in platoons. You'd send 2 or 3 up at once because a coach only carries, 88
Okay.
people. And they still do that
Right.
today. But yeah, no, the way they operate it at the COG is interesting, and the way they've operated at the COG is interesting. But anyway, yeah, they just have to have a lot of trains out there on the line because it takes a steam engine an hour to get up the mountain, which is only 3 miles.
Right.
Right. But anyway, they had an issue with a bearing in one of the locomotives, and they had to stop just ahead of Jacob's Ladder, which is the steepest section of the track. And so they waited for a work crew to come up the mountain, and then they offloaded everybody onto another train, and then that train went down the mountain. So I'm not sure totally how they did that logistics-wise, but they managed to get everyone back down, and when they brought everyone back down, this is how you do PR right. The workers formed a human chain, which made it ensuring everyone made it to the other train. Then they went back down the mountain to Marshfield, which is the station at the bottom, and then they refunded the money. They got rain check tickets for everyone for good for next year, and they had pizza, water, coffee, and snacks waiting for them at the bottom of the hill. So
Wait,
Jeez.
how do brakes work on a cog railway?
Carefully.
they do. They just do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You really hope they do. Actually,
find
what's
out.
interesting about it is because the coach and the engine, because the engine's pushing, they aren't actually coupled. They are lashed together, but they aren't actually coupled. And if the coach goes too far away, I believe it automatically applies the brakes. But the brakes are controlled manually by a brakeman that stands at the back of the coach in front of the engine and basically stares at the gap between the buffers and stares at the gap between the buffers, and make sure it doesn't get too far, make sure it doesn't get too close, because the engines, at least the steam engine in particular, if you were rolling down the mountain and the coach had no brakes, the engine alone would not be able to stop the train. The engine can stop
Oh, Jesus
itself.
Christ.
The engine can stop itself, and the coach can stop itself. But you can't just
But
rely on
not-
the engine's brakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
That
didn't
sounds
know that.
terrifying.
That is absolutely terrifying.
yeah. Well, that's why the coach has big, robust brakes.
I'm kind of surprised about that. Even like, taking the museum for instance, you bring one of the engines downhill and you've got the independent, the automatic brake. It's not good, but you can stop the entire train just with the independent. The locomotive can stop the entire train.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not
it might have
sure. I
it
feel
might have something to do with
safe.
the 30 degrees.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just I'm
very
not sure it'd feel real safe. That's surprising.
I mean, they've never had I'm not saying they never had. They've had 2 major accidents ever, and one of them is because the newly restored pepper sass just came apart on the way down the hill. So, they, as far as Mount Washington goes, they have a really, really good safety record.
Hey, the
What?
question that I answered to get on the podcast the first time is what was the name of the number 1 engine? And it was Pepper Sass, and I'll always remember that.
Or Hero. It was originally called Hero. But yeah, it was called pepper sass because it sort of looks like a pepper sauce bottle.
Is that why?
Yeah. And
Huh.
also they
that.
sell bumper stickers that say "I saw pepper sass." But anyway,
It's like
if
69.
we want to talk
or-
about crashes, though, picture pepper sass coming apart and tumbling down the mountain. Also picture you're in a car, you're in Florida. Car is on the train tracks, and here comes
and
Brightline.
out of the corner of your eye, you see him.
Shia LaBeouf.
Exactly.
There were two different cars hit by Brightline. So, damage to the train suggests the driver was trying to beat the train. So, allegedly, somebody was trying to beat the train, surprising nobody, because this is Florida. And that's Brightline.
And surprising nobody, it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Stop doing this.
There were two. There was a black truck and a white car that got demolished by Brightline
Hey,
trains.
at least they're not racist to what vehicles they're destroying.
I mean, I don't think vehicles have a race, but this isn't like maybe they do in
Of course
cars.
vehicles have races. They're on TV all the
Actually, you've got a point. You've got a point.
time.
But Brightline wants to kill more people, so they're looking at branching out along the Treasure Coast. I don't know where the hell that is. But it
Probably
looks like they're going to continue up the coast. Like they currently...
Yeah, they're going to go to Orlando.
No,
Yeah, I thought they were-
Orlando is inland.
I was gonna say that's the other direction. I thought
Orlando's
they were
no.
going
inland.
to Orlando.
They're
They're
going to
gonna
go
go-
up the coast as well.
They want to go to Miami. I think.
They
Oh,
already go
both.
to Miami. I'm
They're
talking
going to go
about
south
north.
and north. They're going to go north and then yeet over to
Then
Orlando.
they're going to go
No,
to
but then they're going to
Vegas.
go... I'm saying instead of yeeting over to Orlando, they're also going to go more north.
To where?
To up the coast. I don't freaking know. Do you know
That
Florida
makes
very
no-
well?
I'm going there.
Whatever's up the coast.
There's a town called Stewart that's part of it.
Short.
Yeah,
Alright,
Stuart
Florida
Little.
maps.
Uh,
Florida
applying
man
for a
can't.
Brightline station and could make a final decision within days. So, and it's just I'm getting this out of there's a picture here of Florida with a whole bunch of future destinations of Brightline, and it's going not only to Miami and then up and then over to Orlando. It goes further over, but it also goes all the way north, like to the edge of the state.
Wait a heckin'
So-
second.
Yeah, you look at this article, Stuart Brightline. Like they're going places.
I'm decently surprised, or pleasantly surprised, not decently. Pleasantly
Both.
surprised that Brightline is continuing to expand because they must just have a PR nightmare on their hands right
Oh
now.
my god, yeah, you're not
That
kidding.
or the people of Florida just aren't paying attention to anything, including the train when it's approaching.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Including the
you'd hope at the
prospects.
very least they would be like us and be like, idiots. But they keep doing
Idiots.
this.
Yes. It's like, again, did they just not know what's going on and the company's just getting bigger? Because the way I'm picturing this is either everybody's going, wow, these people are stupid. And you would think that the disasters would kind of cut down a little bit. It would sort of taper off, or would have by now.
Their poor
Or they're in a position where people are calling for the abolishment of the demon train that kills people and yada, 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 because
their
that's how the
poor
public
charters are
responds.
going to be destroyed.
Well, here's what I guarantee you is happening. People are seeing it on TV and going, idiot. But that can't happen to me.
Also true.
Yeah.
What a dump.
Yeah. This is how those idiots get hit by trains.
Yeah, it isn't just exclusive to Florida. Apparently, a white car also got hit in Oregon by the P&W.
God damn it.
It's a
Just wait till
Tribune article, but it was in Cornelius, on the Cornelius Pass line,
well, if
Loki,
we think
you need to
Brightline,
talk about what else happened in your neck of the woods. Possibly
think-
the funniest thing I've ever seen.
wait, I want to
info-
say something.
What? Sorry.
If we think Brightline is bad in Florida with all the old people and crazy people, wait till they go to Las Vegas where everyone.
I know. Well, that's what I was saying. I can't wait until they're able to target other markets like that.
Hookers and druggies and
I mean, I'm thinking more just drunk middle-aged people that are there on their, midlife crisis. Drunk
Oh,
middle-aged guys.
speaking of people here on their midlife crisis, in downtown Portland, there's
Really ready to segue away from that? Okay.
There's this event. It's a
Wait,
marathon.
I don't think too many
And
people
it
in their
got blocked
midlife
by a
crisis
train.
go do marathons, but okay.
It was more directed at the city of Portland, but okay.
City of Portland is in their
I don't
midlife
think the
crisis?
city of Portland. Yeah.
Okay, the people.
You
When
know
I
what?
think
Go
midlife
ahead, because I want to
crisis-
get to this article. It's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. Anyways, apparently they can't get to where they're going because the train got in the way during the middle of their marathon, and it's
Literally.
great.
Look at the picture. Everyone needs to look at this picture.
Yeah, it's great.
I saw this on Reddit. It's a qualifier for the Boston Marathon too, which is why people were upset because, like, 22 minutes delayed in a qualifying race. So
Oh, even the playing field a little bit.
Funny thing is, you
or
can
do
see
the
something.
opposite.
Let people catch up.
Yeah,
you'd be able to catch your breath.
yeah, but you know that there are probably some people that just beat the train and are way out in front.
Yeah.
The funny part is
and
you can
the
see
flip side
where
of
the
the coin,
location
you know, they're-
is that they're being stopped at.
Mhm.
Because look in the background, it's Portland Union Station.
Yeah.
How could
So
you be stopped at gates for 22 minutes though?
the
Switching.
trains don't go that
Oh,
fast through
right.
Union Station,
That
Graham.
You're in downtown.
Yeah, that too.
Downtown.
See, like I guess I'm
I've
just
been
used to.
stopped for like 15.
I guess I'm just used to where Amtrak is gone in like 10 seconds. and
Also,
then-
it was mechanical issues with the train.
So the train stopped and then got stuck.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
you're new to this concept, Alex.
No, I'm not. But it's
Yeah.
like when I'm like these people running a marathon must have been irate.
they probably were, and that probably made it better for the outsider's point of view. But
I just found
I feel
Doritos.
bad.
yeah, I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
But
That's legitimately gotta suck if you
Yeah.
train so hard for that event and then just barely miss.
Yeah.
Although, let's be glad that the qualifier was in Portland and not in Miami.
Florida.
Because if it was in Miami, they would have just run straight into the side of the train.
200 killed by Brightline.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they would have tried to like jump over the train or like get
Yeah,
through.
exactly. They would have just run into the side of it and got swept away.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're horrible people.
Yeah. Oh, speaking
So
of
damn
tons of
high-speed
people
train.
dying, there is a slew of international train crashes, including a
What?
protest about a seriously major train crash in India. That they're demanding more safety on their trains. So I'm just gonna dump them all because I don't want to talk about them individually. They're pretty morbid. Taiwan, India, Morocco, and I think there might be another one in here. Oh well, the German train that caught on fire as well. I haven't looked into that, but I'll talk about that maybe a little later. I'm just gonna go put these all in there because I think they're important to publicize a little bit. But
Right.
they're just
On
morbid.
the note of the third world ones, I do have the thought of, if they're wanting a little bit more safety, I feel like that's partly on the railroad company, but at the same time, I saw these articles, and at the risk of sounding a little bit morbid, the death toll was very, very, very high, extraordinarily high, like higher than train accidents in the U.S. have been for at least 100 years, if not more. And I got to thinking about it. It's like, why is the death toll so high? Is this really? And then it hit me. This is a country where people literally, you get these photos on Reddit or whatever with the funny captions of the people just piled on the roof and hanging off the sides and the underside of the thing. It's like, okay, part of the safety is the railroad company has to, a little bit better on the crash zones and the signaling and stuff. Part of that is on the commuter of, there's a risk associated with riding on the roof of the damn commuter train.
I don't think these have to do. I don't think this is that. This isn't overloaded trains. It's a speeding train ran into crowds, or which I don't know how the hell that happens, but just a series of accidents. Like where
was the crowds?
India's railway network is notorious for accidents.
So is their road network.
The Indian
so is
Railway.
everyone's road network.
A lot of accidents.
Side note,
in India especially.
The Indian Railway is the world's largest employer.
Interesting.
Is it?
That's a very interesting statistic.
Well, this is something else.
That's what I read on the internet, so it must be true.
Largest employer. According to Wikipedia, the largest employers in the world are the United States Department of Defense, the People's Liberation Army, which has a red star with some Chinese symbol in the middle, and
Google says Walmart.
Google says the U.S. Department of Defense, the People's Liberation Army, Walmart, McDonald's, China National Petroleum, State Grid Corporation of China, and then Indian Railways.
Yeah. Well,
So it's up there.
It's up there. According to Google, it's 7th.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't know what this thing is going on about, but it is that there are,
Okay. And talk about some preservation.
Yeah, it's definitely sad.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of something else sad, BNSFs.
Real quick, before we do that, just another interesting population
It's
statistic.
just like three
There are
people
more-
cutting off everyone.
Yeah, we're trying to.
Milky
can
said
go
something,
this-
Graham
this
said
might
something,
be-
you said something.
This pertinent to the India thing is why I
Okay,
cut him
what's
off.
up?
I know I cut him off. I just don't want to transfer away from it because it is kind of a random note. There are more people employed by the Indian Railways than there are in the Indian Armed Forces.
Wow.
I mean, to be
Right.
fair, back in the day in the U.S., the railroads would employ like one of every 5 people.
In the day, yeah.
Yeah.
But just
That's
it's
true.
in a modern world, that's a weird juxtaposition to think about, especially considering our, what are the 2 largest air forces in the world? The
Yeah.
U.S. Air Force and the U.S. Navy. It's like it's just
Yeah,
kind
but
of weird to think about.
I
Anyway,
don't- it's just
I digress.
I think it speaks to the fact that India is a much less advanced railroad. They're still using a lot more staff than we need.
right.
Uh,
Well, and they're India. They're not really going to war very much.
That's also
Not-
true. Well, I mean, they have enemies.
All right, but
Impact.
speaking
Anyway.
of something else sad, BNSF's executive chairman is going to retire in April of 2019.
Rip.
Rose has been the executive chairman for 6 years and BNSF chief executive officer for the prior 13 years. He has served in leadership and marketing before being CEO in 2000. He helped guide the acquisition of BNSF by Berkshire Hathaway in 2009. What a man.
Also, if we're talking about India's enemies, Pakistan Railway is going to introduce 10 new passenger trains by the end of the year, and what is this? Planning to increase the number of freight trains from 10 to 15. So I don't know what sort of the extent of their railroad is, but this seems to be, a pretty big deal for them.
Right. Huh.
Well, hopping back to BNSF, they're proposing to replace the Salmon Bay Railroad bridge up in Ballard, where we were just
Didn't
at.
Gerald check this out once? Like he went out there at one point?
Yeah, I think he did.
I vaguely
I think
remember
he
this.
had an internship and he got to check it out.
That's freaking cool. This
But
is an old
anyways,
bridge, isn't it?
It's a drawbridge, actually. And it's pretty neat, but pretty old, too. It's like 1912. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was built in 1912. So it obviously needs updating or modernization, one of the two. Yeah.
A flaw
He knows
resulted in the
that's
bridge
right.
being stuck open for 6 months.
Oof.
Yeah. And being a specs that would cost 200 million, 1.0 to do it. But
Jesus. I mean, that's a hell of a bridge. That's a busy bridge. Now it
Alright.
reminds me of. Now here's
But-
my anecdote. Reminds me of I was out doing pedestrian counts at a station in East Norwalk, Connecticut, and it's along the Amtrak and Metro North line, which those of you guys probably know that just by virtue of them being along the coast the way they are, there are a lot of drawbridges out there. And so this was part of the Walk Bridge project, which is a huge, huge project. And the Walk Bridge is the 4-track swing bridge that is in Norwalk. So to shorten it, it's the Walk Bridge, the Norwalk Bridge, the Walk Bridge. And there's that, make sure you mark down if something major happens that would, screw with the counts, make them unusual. If someone, if there's a car accident, or if something gets stuck onto the bridge because the bridge is kind of low, near where we were, it's a different bridge, or if there's an issue with train service. And I was like, okay, what would cause a major issue with train service? And my boss sort of chuckled and he goes, if they open the walk bridge and it won't close again, because that happens.
yeah, that happens.
Yeah, so
Unfortunately.
these are old bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so
The Washington Eastern Railroad has been incorporated.
what is that?
They're assuming operations of 107 miles of track in the state of Washington between. Darn, I forgot where it was. Somewhere in Eastern Washington, from the Eastern Washington Gateway Railroad, because I think their contract was up and the owners of the line contracted with someone else.
Mhm.
There's a STB filing that goes into way more detail than I know about. Actually, it's only 3 pages. So
Way
it
more
doesn't go
detail.
into much more detail than I would, but
Right.
it shows the particular details. It goes from Cheney, Washington to Quilly City, Washington.
Mhm. Okay.
Anyway, speaking of things going places, a Salt Lake City streetcar has made its way back home to where it was on display in Salt Lake City.
Wouldn't
Well,
that
that's
imply
great.
that it hasn't gone places?
Well, it went places to be restored, and now it's
Ah.
back.
Okay.
That's good.
But you know what else is being restored? The Santa Maria Valley number 21, which is a Mikado locomotive that I visited in, I believe, April of this year, or May, to go see their progress on it.
It's kind of
And they told me then that they were going to put the boiler in frame and wheels together by the end of the summer. Well, they did it. A little bit later than what I was told, but they still did it, and props to them, because I've seen their setup, and I have detailed photos of it. They have a hoist system that they held the boiler up with for a while they were doing work on the drivers and whatnot.
Well, you know what
The
else
fr-
is being restored?
The Kraus, the rear end of it to be snapped.
Okay. Wait, where's the
Uh,
Kraus? What's the Kraus doing? How's the Kraus? Tell me.
They're
House.
They're right now working on the rear end and getting one of the turbos to work. One of the turbochargers to be exact. So they're working on 2 fronts. They're getting the turbocharger ready to be reinstalled and used, because that was one of their problems when they test fired it. That one turbo wasn't acting that well. So
Mhm.
they're going to fix it. And they've been tidying up the rear end as well. This includes putting a door on it.
Mhm.
And
Oh, it needs. The doors are important. They're like tender decking on a steam engine.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so they've been making great progress. And I think it's about they've been able to do so far until they get the turbo back. But now they're starting to get to the much more smaller things there that a restoration
seats.
entails. So
I need to go see this.
I want to go see this. But another
You know what
thing
else I-
that's being restored. No, this is bigger. Let's talk bigger.
Okay.
You got a little engine, then you got a bigger engine. Let's talk railroads. There is a railroad called the Impossible Railroad. As if we haven't heard that before.
the one in California.
It connects San Diego, the San Diego Tijuana region, El Centro, and this runs, mostly through Mexico and then back into the U.S. It is a very, very
It was an SP branch.
it was a very, very twisty. It pretty much still exists, but it needs rehabilitation because it was abandoned or it was shut down in 1950. But it's a pretty serious railroad, and opening it could, vastly reduce the number of carloads that have to go up and through Los Angeles and that area to get to points east. So that could really change sort of the face of a lot of the railroad traffic problems, as if Los Angeles doesn't have enough traffic problems.
Yeah, it's definitely not the chokehold for everywhere that goes into it.
Yeah, but this is serious. Getting this line reattached now, it's I believe it's still mostly attached. I'm not totally sure.
A museum uses the portion in California.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, there's a green line here on the map. I'm not sure what that means. It means light rail. But that connects the line with everything else, and it's called Line UB in Mexico. Yeah. And then it comes back into the U.S., which on the marked it's just marked as desert. The railroad is marked as desert. And it goes through the Anza Borrego Desert State Wilderness. And then eventually, after going past the Plaster City Railroad, it meets up with the Calexico subdivision in El Centro, which is in... it's actually still in California.
Wait, isn't the Plaster City Railroad the narrow gauge thing?
Yeah. I think.
Wybold, are you dead?
Yeah, it is.
I'm still here.
A narrow gauge thing.
Oh.
I'm tired. Sorry, I've been studying all day.
Well,
What a
shame on our-
nerd!
I don't have a lot of news. This has been kind of a quiet week.
Yeah.
All things considered, everybody's
Nothing.
kind of winding down from the summer season and the fall color season, or getting ready for Christmas. So it's the calm before the storm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
then it goes and it joins with the Yuma subdivision. So,
Yuma.
Yuma. It would be able to go, sort of in that direction. Now, it's interesting. No, it really wouldn't change much. But, you'd be coming around that way and join with the Yuma subdivision and then go to points east and north. Anyway. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. The company is called Baja Rail, which I just like the word Baja, to be honest.
Baja.
Baja.
Baja. It's Baja!
It's Baja Rail. And
It's Baja if you're white.
so key hurdle is getting federal customs and border protection approvals for the overall route of the rail line and for an inspection facility, which the agency has insisted be built 6 miles north of the border in Campo.
The
So,
problem is with the cruise, really.
I mean,
There's been a lot of debate with the cruise going into Mexico and operating.
yeah, we talked about this last time, and there was like an issue with KCS where they used to... There's like a one-track bridge over the Rio Grande, which, they used to do a crew change on the one-track bridge, and then they finally decided, screw this, we're going to just bring them an extra, quarter mile into the yard, and then do a crew change there. And now people are upset about that.
Yeah.
So we we covered that last time a little bit, and it's like it's a fairly typical operation for to do that just outside of the border crossing and whatever whatever facilities you have. I just feel like in general doing it on the bridge is a little bit sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in seeing how Baja Rail does. New railroads are always something interesting and cool. Speaking of which, we've got a new railroad in the neighborhood, and they gave us a little update. So, this is the Boston Surface Railroad, the unfortunately acronymed BSRR, which is on track to start their Woonsocket Providence commuter service, and then eventually on to Worcester in 2020. So they pushed back their thing a little bit, but they have engines that they're going to be going to Quonset for work. They have...
Let me guess. Chargers?
No. Guess again.
F40s?
Older.
What are they getting?
A pair of FL9s.
Why?
Why not?
Because they were for sale.
And they're going to run
¿Quién no las das?
They're going to run a railroad with 2 engines?
They're going to run a commuter rail with a pair of FL9s and some coaches. Then the coaches are the only thing they don't yet have. They're working on getting their hands on coaches. They have apparently negotiated everything they need to negotiate with Genesee and Wyoming because they're doing some track work now.
G&W cancer.
And
No,
I agree.
they are SD7 to be repainted into SP. They're fine.
Yeah, well, they won't. That's you guys. Just because you get special treatment doesn't make them good. In fact, it makes them worse.
Orange plague.
Well, maybe you don't stick at the management folks.
Well, maybe management shouldn't need to be sticked to.
Sock it to him. Oh, yeah.
So they hope to kick off with at least 100 passengers on day 1. So that's a real high bar you got there.
Yeah.
But
Wow. We almost hauled that many people in the Goose before lunch. Wow.
yeah, but they are hoping to get about 1,000 passengers a day eventually from Woonsocket. Per day expected to come from Woonsocket. So that's eventually after, what did they say, 5 years. So hopefully their projections are good. Brightline had some projections fall short, unfortunately. Thankfully for them, they are propped up by Florida East Coast.
I was going to say,
these
speaking
guys
of new...
have no such luck. They are on their own.
Speaking of new railroads, look what happened with Brightline. Let's not have a repeat.
Well, I don't think they're going to be hitting and killing anyone because they aren't going to be going that fast. They're commuter rail, not high speed. But
Yeah, this is true. Speaking of things
they don't even sue.
that we should look forward to, our fundraiser for the bustless cars at the museum is at 58%.
Nice.
Right now. Of our $11,500 goal, which is good.
Nice.
Good. The sooner we can get this done, the sooner we can move on to the next fundraiser, which is the 1067 parts. So, you can tell why I want this to succeed.
Yeah, because the 1067 is your baby.
Yeah, it's my baby. It's my project, and it's going to be a beautiful bastard when it gets out of the barn under
It's
its
my
own
project,
house.
and I need it now.
Yeah. Plus, I want to fix up one of these Belgium cars, so I would appreciate if we owned it before I started fixing it up. Speaking of cool things happening, the Sumter Valley Railway is doing a Halloween Express on the 27th and the 28th, aka next weekend. The tickets are $25 for adults, $22.50 for seniors, $17.50 for children, and a family pass is $75. Which
I'm almost a senior. Oh, wait. Wrong kind of senior.
which gives you tickets for 2 adults and 2 kids, which they range from, their child range is 5 to 15.
Okay.
So they should be departing from the McQueen Depot at 4 p.m., which is at the east end of the Sumter Valley on their 5 miles of track. I swear they hope to build more someday.
That was nice. I just want to plug a piece of news that Jader wanted us to talk about real quickly. It's from the Hocking Valley Scenic. Ride behind an authentic 1920 coal-fired steam locomotive through the Hocking Valley to East Logan with a visit to the historic Robbins Crossing on the campus of the Hocking College. Adults 25, blah, 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 blah. Due to the nature of operating historic equipment, motive power is subject to change. That is Saturday, November 3rd, and 3 more. So anyway, go by the Hocking Valley.
Cool.
Also, since I plugged my own fundraising stuff, I might as well plug Chader's 703 podcast.
Yeah,
Oh,
same
I just
703.
realized I was totally wrong with what I said about the kid in the Cuyahoga Valley Railroad saying that he operated 1225.
Sucks to be you. What happened?
I meant 765.
Oh, well.
It's not like
It's
they're
okay.
very
It's
different.
okay. Stuff happens. Like the plans for a bullet train from.
Now I'm on like all of the hit lists.
Wait, what did you say?
It's not like they're that different.
Oh, God. I thought you said something about... never mind. Okay.
I think I report on similar stories to this, but the bullet, Oregon, Washington, and Canada are talking about a bullet train, so that should be cool.
Oh, yeah. And
If I remember
WSP is going to be the
talking
one to build it. Well, we've got another article posted, so I just left it in there. You don't have to pick every article, you know.
And also, you forgot the tape, the Halloween Express I talked about.
Oh, I didn't take that. I
No.
didn't? Where was that?
No, you didn't yoink it. It's
Where's
still in
Buzz?
my thing.
I guess if we're doing that, I forgot in the haze of everything, because how can I remember anything anymore? This weekend we're doing Halloween Train at the museum too. Come see us. We're running 91. Fun stuff.
Scoo.
Oh,
Dun.
It'll also be the first debut of you in a 50. It just won't be a
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
private debut, not a public debut.
Boo! Boo!
Debut of 50 will be for first class passengers on this year's Polar Express, which
Hey.
tickets are sold out. But a little birdie told me, and this is actual Terminus hot tip. You heard it here first, folks. A little birdie told me that we might be offering more first class tickets, only first class tickets, later on in the event, if all is going well. So
Secrets.
if you promised the kids a ride on the Polar Express and missed the 12 hours that all of the tickets sold out in, you still got a chance. You just got to be on top of it, and you got to want to ride first class, which is really, really worth it, because come see you in a 50. It's a cool car.
This is
Also, contextually related.
It's way prettier than it deserves to be.
At WST, this will be the first year that we're running 2 trolleys for Christmas ships, so
Cool.
double the capacity. Last year we sold out in a few minutes when tickets went.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So we're anticipating doing the same this year because we have 2 trolleys.
What can we say? People like their Christmas trains.
Oops,
Yeah.
I found the other station article about Brightline. I buried it in here by accident. It's
Oh, okay.
Fort Pierce. They also want a station
Oh,
on
nice.
Brightline. So, yeah.
All right.
Well, is that it?
Is
I
this
don't
the
know, is
end of
that
the
it?
line?
I mean, there's
Can
plenty
that
of
be
other
it?
news down here. Can it be it?
Can it be it? I've got tests tomorrow. I'm tired.
No, how dare you. Alright, yeah, a couple other things in here, but yeah, for the most part, that's all the interesting stuff. There was a German train that caught on fire. So, yeah,
That's yeah.
talk about real...
Highly inefficient.
Talk about real hot takes. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. I hope nobody died, but they might have. Flames engulfed. Only 5 people suffered minor injuries. Okay, good. That's all I
That's
needed to
good.
know.
Good.
There is also, and I want to get this out there because this might be a little bit time sensitive. There's a job posting for Age of Steam Roundhouse.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. Good call.
And the rest
An
of
odd
this,
one too. It's not a mechanic, if I read it correct, is it?
I didn't read it.
I think they wanted young people to be like tour guides or something.
Yeah, I read it, and it didn't say anything about mechanical experience. It wanted a degree where possible, and to have good people skills, and to be knowledgeable about history of the stuff. I think it's for a docent or a managerial role.
So it's almost perfect for foamers that don't want to actually do anything. Also, here's the other
Anyway.
thing. Here's one other thing, and this is a little bit morbid, but it's called back to next week. They did recover the body of that missing crew member from the Union Pacific crash.
Yes.
Uh,
A little bit of finality there.
and as for other UP murders, they're shutting down the Nebraska shop.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that next week.
Next
That's
week?
probably slightly big. Yeah, let's keep that around. Let's talk about
I'll
that next
keep
week.
that around.
That's
Yeah,
not
that's,
time sensitive.
Yeah, that's Panhandle Shop.
Cap.
Rest in peace.
Anyways.
Amtrak also killed a guy.
Oops.
And New
Happened.
Jersey Transit is going to be stepping back service to work real hard to get PTC done before the deadline. Also, somebody robbed BNSF. Literally, there's a $5,000 bounty out for a dude who
Saw that.
robbed
But you're
a
crazy.
an
Nobody
employee,
robs trains
or
anymore.
I guess not a bounty, but it's
It's
a
reward.
$5,000 for information.
It's a
I guess the engineer of that train was Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they said nobody robs trains anymore, but hey, maybe some people do.
Yeah.
But the rest of this we can talk about next time.
Yep.
And
Yes.
so it's time to move on to the last section of the show. Now let's talk about the latest train on Amtrak. Ooh, it looks pretty good. I mean, not great, but decent. Decent, not terrible across the board for Amtrak, except for this one train. So,
Sure.
what do we think is the latest train on Amtrak?
Without going on the website, by the way.
Without going on the Amtrak or the SM Transit docs, anything like that.
I'm
And
gonna
let me
say
tell you guys-
eastbound.
Hold on. Let me tell you
Yeah.
this. Let me tell you this just to give you a leg up, because nobody will guess it otherwise. It is not one that you would ever normally guess, and one that you may not even remember the name of. It's really, really weird.
Okay.
Is it an Illinois corridor train?
Illinois. I'm not going to tell you where it is. I'm just telling you it's got a weird name.
Illinois.
Illinois. It's really loud.
It's adjacent to Albuquerque, capital of Illinois.
Alright.
Um,
Want to try?
I already looked at the map, even though you told me not to. It was
Alright,
before you
Graham
said
doesn't
don't
get to
look at-
guess. Shush.
Yeah, so I don't get to guess.
So, I'm sort of vexed by the problem of if it's a train you wouldn't remember, I can't remember it. So I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess the westbound Capital Punishment.
Capital Corridor or
The
Capital
Capital
Limited. Okay. Alright.
Okay. I am gonna go with the northbound City of New Orleans. So that's running.
There is a City of New Orleans out, and there's also a Capital Limited out. They are both on time.
Damn.
The latest train on Amtrak having picked up 2 hours of delay between its last two stops, which are
Oof.
Kankakee, Illinois,
Kankakee.
and Homewood, Illinois, is the Illini.
Go.
The
At
Illini. I've
What-
never
2
heard of
hours
it.
and
Yeah, I've never
44
even-
minutes late.
I've never even heard of
Wow.
It
Wait,
doesn't.
it's
It doesn't run outside of the state of Illinois.
Hmm.
It's
hang on. Did I hear that wrong? How late is it?
2 hours and 44 minutes late.
Oh, okay. I heard 24 hours.
No, this is
Like,
not
I'm
the
sorry.
Canadian. This is not the Canadian.
Okay. Yeah. Glad I clarified. Okay. Cool.
2 hours and 44 minutes late. It was only 40 minutes late, and then something happened. What? We may never know. But other than that, there are no trains in the black on Amtrak. There are no. I mean, there are no trains in the black delay. There are no trains over 3 hours late for long distance trains.
There are also no trains in the black.
There are no
but
trains in the black either. But
no.
anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this. Oh, we've got to do termination stir.
We gotta do termination.
Let me rearrange stuff. Let me make sure. Did anybody else get a thing? No, it was just Graham.
Wait, why did I get a
You
point?
got a point because of the thing that you did, where you did the thing in the wrong thing.
No, I didn't
Yeah,
do
at the
anything.
very
She,
beginning.
you-
she
you
gets
got
mad
points.
when you do it in the wrong thing, Graham.
Yeah, exactly. No, you tried to.
We will
segue,
tell you when you're older.
You tried to segue to news at the beginning of the show when we were in Tails.
Yeah.
When we were in Tracks on Tails. So
God damn.
Graham goes to Gulag now, and
Google.
and that also means Graham gets to go first.
Well, Foamy Graham survived the podcast again. I'll see y'all in 2 years, probably. Guess you'll just have to find out if I live next time. We will all find this out when we're older.
Okay. Chris says I am watching it. Jesus, Graham. Leibold.
Did good by you, Lucy. Fought for you.
Yeah, good thing you did, or else she would have killed you. And I would like to say that terminations should be short, sweet, and to the point.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, and I have the trailer for the new Bohemian Rhapsody movie. Because that's gonna be a fun movie when it comes out.
I certainly hope so. Anyways.
Galileo!
Believe in it, Galileo.
Anyway, we thank you for watching this episode of the Terminus podcast, and we will see you again in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.